I'm gonna get hate for this video because I'm about to reveal the actual truth of what dating is like as a young man. Watch all of this video in order because it'll make the most sense that way, and just trust me, it gets more brutal as the video goes on. For the first bit of advice I'm gonna give you in this video, I'm gonna take a part of my module from my Red Pill course, which is inside of this paid program, and just give it here to you for free. So enjoy. Let's talk about the usual timelines for women, beta males, and for alpha males. And I promise you right now, this is going to be scarily accurate. You will find basically every woman, like 90 something % of women will follow this timeline, 90 something % of guys will follow the beta male timeline, and just a small percentage of guys will follow the alpha male timeline. And it's going to be so accurate. You'll remember this module for years being like, holy fuck, how did Hamza like predict everything with this fucking girl and everything? This is how it goes. The timeline is basically like, you know, as you progress through ages, 16, 18, 25 years old, what's gonna happen? The female timeline is as follows. Women hit puberty pretty early, like 13 years old or so, but it's too young. When they get to about 16 to 18, that's when their first sign of like huge sexual attractiveness skyrockets. They're still under the age of consent and whatever, but of course, like other guys who are 16 years old are dating them, even some weird guys who are like 19-year-old are dating them. And so their attractiveness skyrockets. When a girl gets to about 16 to 18 years old, she's in the fun party years. She's a hot, cute little girl, and she's enjoying herself. She turns 18 and she's learning even more about makeup. She can go out and drink, and she starts hooking up with some guys. She's not really doing anything so serious. She's in the party years. So from this big block from around 16 to maybe about 25, 27 years old, she's single, she's fucking, she gets into a short relationship here with a beta male, short relationship here. She gets into a ton of situationships. She has hookups, she uses a couple of dating apps, but all of this stuff, by the way, she'll tell you she never did. She'll say like, oh yeah, well I dated a couple of guys, whatever, but like she's fucked like 10 guys during this time from like 16 to 27 in the party years where it's carefree. Since she's hot and young and beautiful and lively, she's at the peak of her attractiveness. So she's attracting guy after guy. Like imagine being like a pretty girl in like a party, pretty girl in society. Every guy's looking at her. She gets messages every single day of guys who are into her, guys who want to take her out on dates. Let's say she's doing some decent work on herself. She's going to the gym, learning even better, more attractive makeup or whatever. And she's like an attractive girl with tons of options, so she doesn't really want to settle down. Or if she does, she gets into like short-term relationships, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, breaks up, single again for a little bit, then another short-term relationship, just enjoying herself. And maybe she ends up fucking about 10, 15 guys during this time. She'll tell you it was only about 2 or 3, but it's actually about 10 to 15. There's some girls who might have a stable long-term boyfriend when they're very young, so like 15, 16, for years, 3 years, 4 years. And so it's kind of interesting. They've only had one body count, like one boyfriend, that's it, no hookups. And they're like 21, 22 years old, and that's crazy. One guy when they're 22 years old, that's very low, right? Don't fall for it. A lot of those girls who have the long-term sort of beta male boyfriend, you might meet them when they're 22 years old, and it's like, wow, they've only got, you know, one body count. What actually is the truth is just because they weren't really actively fucking, those same girls within the next year will be on 5 or 10. Does that make sense? It's like you might meet a girl who's about 21, 22 years old. She just left a relationship for like 4 or 5 years they were together. So you're thinking, holy shit, she's only been with one guy. But you've just got to project forward the kind of life she's living and notice, oh yeah, over the next year, she'll fuck like 5, 10 guys, as most girls will in these like young party years. She's going out when she's 18 years old, drinking. She's going to like, you know, the field, the parks with other guys from high school, trying a few drugs here and there, going to parties. And eventually when these girls get a bit older, like 21, 22, and they've got a bit more money from working some shitty jobs, they've got the money now to go to like nightclubs and to go to festivals, and you'll see these girls tag themselves at like Ibiza or at like Magaluf or whatever. That's like a big block of time. These girls are like, you know, hot, young, enjoying themselves. But when they get closer to about 27, 28, 29, 30, they'll first start to notice that their attractiveness is actually going down, and they'll start getting feelings of insecurity and resentment. Think about it. This girl's been hot shit for the last 5 years. Every day is like new guy. She's 24, 25, not really feeling like she's getting older. But at some point she gets closer to 30. She gets a bit insecure because she's like, oh, big 30, you know, it's a big milestone. And they'll notice, you know, a bit more wrinklage, whatever. And the biggest thing that makes these girls resentful after their party years is that now that they are older, they are significantly less desirable. way less desirable. That's when these women start looking for a real man. Let's talk now about the beta male timeline. The beta male, the blue pill guy. And you probably know this. No action in high school. No action at all. You're not fucking in high school. The thought of having sex when you were in high school is kind of weird or uncomfortable, even though you heard that other people were doing it. And you end up convincing yourself, yeah, you don't really care anyway, you know, porn, whatever, but you have these obsessive crushes every now and then, that girl in your class you really want to get with, that girl, whatever, and it never really goes so well. You just don't know how to speak to girls. You feel awkward. You're trying to be friends with them. You're trying to like build up an attraction to a girl over months. Or like, you know, you're texting this girl, maybe going on a date or a walk with her or something, and over months you're trying to build it up to the point that you can lean in for a kiss, and you're just like a little fucking beta male with it, and you know, you're just like, you're not sexy, you're not attractive, you're not turning the girls on. You've got no idea like what girls want, that they want to be fucking dominated. They want a guy to take charge, grab them by the hand, lean up, push them against the wall, and fucking kiss them whilst choking them on the neck. You couldn't imagine shit like that's actually legit. You think that the stories you hear from other guys are complete lies or bullshit or boasting. You couldn't imagine a guy telling you like, yeah, he's fucked hundreds of girls and it's not even hard for him. It's like that stuff's fucking crazy. Or you go on the other route and you're like, yeah, I don't even want that anyway. I don't even want that. I just want like a relationship. That's really degenerate. I don't even want that. I'm not even a man. Like there's the two options there. You see the girl that you want getting fucked by the red pill asshole, but everyone's telling you to not act like him, and for some reason you're stupid enough to believe that. Like, think about it. You continually see girls dating and fucking the guy who is attractive, red pill and hot. But everyone keeps telling you to, no, but don't act like that, bro. Don't act like that. And you listen to them, even though you can see it's the same type of guy who's fucking the girls that you want, and you keep acting like the beta. So you get these obsessive crushes where you're trying to get with the girl over months, but it just does not give you the success that you want. So at this point, you're going through puberty, maybe you're 18 years old, you're sexually deprived, right? So what do? And a lot of us know this. You're turning to porn. Porn's probably the earlier teenage years, but very much so even when you're 18, 19, 20. But here you'll start turning to what's called MGTO, men going their own way, or to black pill, which is like, yeah, you know, I could never get girls anyway because I'm just not attractive enough. It's my genetics. That's it. It's hopeless. This is where most guys go to. It's like this sort of incel level of like, yeah, I just couldn't get girls. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's my genetics. I can't change that. It's just because I'm brown. I'm short. I can't get girls. It's the world's fault. Women are terrible. That guys get into this kind of a weird cognitive dissonance where they realize, okay, I wanted girls. I wanted sex. Since I can't, it's a bad thing. I don't want it. Sex isn't even important anyway. You see a lot of guys like that in the self-improvement community. Oh, girls aren't even important anyway. Sex isn't even important anyway. Oh, that's not important. Oh, who cares about girls? You know, these guys, they're always like these more sort of black pill incel type of guys where they've got no results. And so they have to just kind of say, yeah, it's not because I'm like a lazy piece of shit who's not attractive. It's because it's not even important anyway. Sex and relationships aren't even important. Even though it's the number one biological urge of all, it's not even important. I don't even care about it. I just play video games, and these guys start going into the virtual world, video games. Some of these guys will go more into the sort of productive realm of men going their own way. You know, they'll be grinding, going to the gym, making money, whatever, just to live like single lives without women. But most of these guys will have like some kind of virtual stimulation. Lots of porn, maybe potentially OnlyFans girls, eventually getting fucking sex bots or some crazy shit like that. But a lot of these guys are just going to be jacking off, wondering like how to get the girl. And this happens for basically all of their 20s. All of their 20s, they see the girl their age, let's say they're 24 years old. The girl their age is getting fucked by a guy who's 27. I'm 27. The girls your age, they're all getting fucked by me. That's it. And it pisses you off to see that. Now, hopefully, like, this is where the sort of timeline for you stops. But for the average beta male, he's going to keep seeing this. 28, 29 years old. He's got a bit of a stable career now. He's got kind of used to the fact that like girls don't really like him, whatever. But he's got a stable enough career. He's been just working some random place, like some computer shop or some shit like that, or some random thing. And he's saved up a fair amount of money. He's finally been able to move out of his parents' home. He's got himself a car. He can afford to get nicer haircuts. He's not unattractive anymore. He's 30, 32, kind of well established. And of course he wants kids and he just wants a partner. He couldn't imagine fucking. He just doesn't believe that like a man could fuck as many women as he wants. But he thinks, oh, well, you know, I would love to get married and have children. That's when he meets her. the woman on the timeline who has just been railed by the alpha males for the last 10, 13 years, who now she's pissed off at those guys and she's looking for the faithful beta. Now let's finally talk about the alpha male timeline. If he started as the sort of alpha kind of attractive guy and somewhat red pill aware when he was young, he's the kid in school who ends up fucking pretty early, and he ends up like getting a girlfriend who, when he's like 14, his girlfriend's like 16 in the same high school or something, and it's kind of like interesting seeing that young boy who's like so mature and sexually advanced compared to the other boys who are still like little fucking boys playing Minecraft or whatever. So he'll fuck a lot in high school. Not always, because you could be a late bloomer like me. Like, for example, my first kiss was when I was 17 years old, and I first had sex when I was 19. So I didn't do really anything in high school. So you could be a bit of a late bloomer, but on average, if you are like one of the red pill guys, you'll end up like fucking in high school, whatever. Then in university, college, the alpha male type guy is like the fun, hot party guy. He's going out to parties. Girls know him as the guy that they want to hook up with. He learns how to like dance and maneuver himself in the night club environment. He's using dating apps. He's fucking a girl every month right now, maybe every couple of weeks, maybe every week now, because he's being social. He's like partying. The biggest reality shift here for the alpha male is that he sees the dark side of the princess. He sees that all these beautiful little girls that seem so normal in the day-to-day, who get put on like this pedestal by the beta male, they're actually like massive cum sluts. Like, all these girls, the girls you would have never expected to love a fucking pounding, no woman is kind of like exempt from that rule. So the alpha male realizes, oh, okay, you could basically treat any girl like a fuck toy, and there's a chance that they are. There's a big chance that they are. You go through enough women to see there's not a certain look in a girl that means that she's a hoe or not, or that, you know, she would take a fucking pounding. It's just surprisingly all types of girls, including even religious girls, including wife quality girls. This is like the brutal thing. Once this alpha male's fucked about 20, 30, 50 girls, he'll realize that there were some girls who actually seemed kind of like wife quality, like they would speak about religion. They've got religion in their Instagram bio. They mentioned that they've only had one boyfriend before, and you still fuck them in the first date, or not even with a date, but just the first few hours of meeting them, and they are as horny, depraved animals as the rest of them. This is why once the red pill alpha male gets to like 50 girls he's fucked, at that point he starts to like lose the belief that maybe he'll ever get into a real relationship, because the sort of good girl fantasy that the beta male has gets destroyed when you've been with so many good girls who you realize are still like massive cum sluts. Some of those girls will actually start looking for a relationship. This is what's brutal. Some of these girls who really want a relationship and they're currently getting fucked by the alpha male, they'll have that talk with him and say, no, I want a relationship, you know, I don't just want to be having hookups, whatever. Those girls will start developing relationships with the beta while still fucking this guy. Just think about that, like how fucking brutal that is. You don't want to be this fucking guy, right? You, like, if anything, you want to be the guy who girls are coming to and they're like, oh, I want to get into a relationship. He's like, no, not really. These girls will start going on dates with other guys, you know, developing feelings, that the little beta males are getting feelings for them, but they'll still come and get like real sex from this guy. I had this girl in university when I was like, 21, 22 years old, who she was hot as fuck. And she texted me out of the blue once when we hadn't spoke for a while, because I thought she started like dating someone. And her text was like, hey. I said, hey, what's up? And she said, I'm bored and I want a proper shag. Like, I want a proper fuck. She started dating, I assume so. She started dating like a new guy. And whether she had sex with him or not, most likely she did. And she, you know, she realized like these sort of blue pill guys, they don't fuck the same as these red pill guys. So she messaged me for a proper fuck. Here's the truth. Some of these girls do actually kind of churn out. So some of these girls are kind of fucking the red pill guy and they don't really want to continue that, and they actually get into a relationship and they stay faithful and they basically leave the red pill guy's life. And for the red pill guy, when he's had like a girl he's been consistently fucking and she just kind of disappears or says, no, I'm actually in a relationship, I'm not going to cheat. It's like, okay, have fun. When you are like the red pill sort of alpha male guy, you'll have quite a lot of girls who are in your life who it's amazing with, but at some point they'll just kind of disappear, and the red pill guy won't latch onto that because he knows that there's always more women, and he's aligned to his sexual strategy, which is multiple women, not just focused on one. When those girls who have rejected the alpha in some ways, they've gotten into this happy relationship, when they have conflict in their relationship or a break in their relationship, who do you think they go to?
You know how a lot of relationships have like mini breakups every now and then, and they stop speaking to each other for a few days. I'm telling you 100% all those girls will go and fuck the last alpha male they were with. I'm telling you that it is such a brutal truth all the time. If you've ever been in a relationship where you had like a weird kind of breakup for like 2 days, I'm telling you, she reached out to the last alpha male she was with. I 100% would bet money on it. Most guys, when they get into a relationship and they're like the beta male thing, when they have like a bit of an argument with their girl, they just sit there kind of pissed off, whatever, and they think maybe I should like be single again. I don't really know, but that's it. When the girl has that kind of argument, conflict, and you know, she sat there, she already knows she's going to be texting this guy and he's going to fuck her on the same day. A lot of girls will do this. Those guys, the beta male and the girl will get back together, and the girl will never mention, oh yeah, I fucked my old alpha male guy that I used to be with before you.
And now I want to walk you through how to be more of the bad boy, because Chance just made some money from a sale from the course, by the way, so you might want to join. Chances are you want to be more of the bad boy since you've just watched that previous module. The first thing that you can do to be more like that asshole jock, like, you know, from the Hollywood movies, you always see the dynamic of like the little nerd who's the main character and he's basically the nice guy, he's just a bitch, and then he just stalks her and jacks off thinking about her, which is what a lot of us relate to back in like high school. And it's the asshole jock, like the bad boy, who's the one who's been fucking her all this time. What the Hollywood movies don't show you is that guy's actually living a way better life. He's got way more attraction and respect from the girl. So the first thing you can do to be more like the sort of bad boy, the guy who gets the girl, is to be less emotionally invested in her. You see, for most of us, we have went through our young adult lives being absolutely obsessed with the girl that we have a crush on. And that means that we have a high level of emotional investment into her. Basically, emotional investment just correlates to how many thoughts you think about them. Now, if you're being honest, think about the girls that you've like, you know, you had a crush on back in the day. And for basically every single girl you've had a crush on, they didn't actually want you. Because the amount of thought, like the amount of thinking that you did about them was very high. But the amount of thinking that they did about you was much lower. And this creates that sort of nice guy dynamic where she can't help but to feel more powerful than you because you have thought about her more than she has thought about you. You have worshipped her. Now, this is the truth. What girls might not admit to you is girls are really only attracted to the kind of guy who thinks about them less than they think about them. But you see this with any girl that you've ever been interested in. I guarantee the girl who's actually like, you know, she's that asshole and, you know, the horrible guy that she mentions, the manipulative ex-boyfriend, whatever. What she's really showing is that there was a power imbalance where she thought about him more than he thought about her. So the first tip to give you is be less emotionally invested in her. Think less about her. Give less shits about her. Now, of course, look, if you're married with children, this is the mother of your children, that's different. But if this is some random fucking girl that you've never even kissed, you've never even held hands with, you don't even know her fucking like values or her story or something, what the fuck is wrong with us young men that we get obsessed with a girl that we've literally never even had like a full long conversation with, or we've never even been intimate with? We get obsessed with girls not because they are amazing, but because we are like little beta male, little fucking soy boy, pussy little boys that like, that's the best thing in our life is like the girl looked at us once. And so we get obsessed with her when she doesn't really deserve it. And it's repulsive to a girl when you are way more emotionally invested in her because you come across as needy. So now you know why emotional investment or a high amount of emotional investment is wrong and it's unattractive. Now look, any girl who's watching this will disagree and say, no, I like it when a guy shows he's invested. No. She likes it when the attractive guy shows the investment. But the way that you come across as attractive is when you are emotionally invested in other things. A guy who is very emotionally invested in the girl, that's unattractive because then it shows to the girl he doesn't have much else going in his life. He's fine to text her around the clock. He's fine to take a call with her at any time. Whatever he's doing is a lower priority than her, and girls aren't attracted to that. Girls want a guy who's actually doing some fun shit with his life. That is the priority above like, you know, some meaningless fucking little bit of texting here and there, or so replying to a message fast on fucking Instagram. So the way that you lower your emotional investment in a girl is twofold. Number one, you increase your emotional investment in other things, in productive things. This is the advice that most little guys will not want to take, because it means you need to get a fucking life and do something productive in your life. You know how since you started watching me, you've been going to the gym, and that's got like a bit of emotional investment from you. Like, you think about the gym, you watch videos about the gym, it means a lot to you. That has instantly made you more attractive because one, hobbies are attractive, but two, it's given you somewhere to put your attention so that you're not obsessive over this fucking girl. Now imagine if you had 5 other things in life like the gym, which took up your time, which kept you busy, so that even like when the girl asks you, hey, do you want to meet today? Do you want to call today? You're like, oh no, I can't. I'm at this club meeting. No, I can't. I'm at this dinner. That makes you more attractive because you're actually living a good fucking life. So even though this advice sounds toxic of like, you know, how to be a bad boy, be less invested into her, it makes you more attractive to her. Like women want you to be a guy who's doing shit with his life, who cares about other things than just them. So number one, self-improvement. Go find other fun shit to do. If you haven't started in the gym already, fucking start in the gym. Start weightlifting, build a fucking physique, look good. Like, look at my fucking muscles, bro. It makes you feel fucking awesome. But then along with that, you've got to add more things in your day, because just the gym is not enough. Most guys, they go to school or work, they go to the gym, and then that's it. And they've got another 2 to 4 hours a day where they now just obsess over the girl. And even with the gym, they'd happily move their gym workout to go hang out with the girl or to call her or whatever. You need to have other things above the gym. So another sport like martial arts or rock climbing, just go do both and shut the fuck up about overtraining or something. You can train 2-3 times a day. Honestly, yeah, you'll be sore, but you're a fucking young man. That's the point of being a young man. You're supposed to move your body and exercise and do hard, vigorous shit for at least a few hours a day. So go do another sport as well. I would recommend martial arts, grappling, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing, Muay Thai. That shit's just cool as fuck. You'll get lean, you'll feel confident, you'll meet other guys that you can be friends with. And then also improve your social life, specifically with friends. Because with a good group of friends, like not like the losers you hang out with on Discord, like, you know, years ago when you were playing video games, but with more of these like Chad type of self-improvement guys, when you hang out with those guys and you've got plans with them and you're going to go for dinner on Friday night, and maybe you're going to go traveling together and you've booked a trip or something. I know that this seems maybe unreasonable to you, but you could be here in 6, 12 months, 2 years. When you have those social events booked in, it makes you more attractive to girls, because when the girl asks you, what did you do over the weekend? And you say, oh, yo, nothing, I went to the gym. That's boring as fuck. But when she asks you, what did you do over the weekend? And you say, oh yeah, I just took a random flight with 2 of my friends. We went to, I don't know, some random other city, or, you know, Spain or something, from UK or whatever. And we just like fucked around there for 2 days. It was really funny. My friend got really drunk or whatever. It means you're doing something with your life, so your brain is thinking about other things rather than just obsessing over this fucking girl. Because look, it hasn't worked for you so far, being super emotionally invested in the girl. It's not gonna work for you more if you keep acting like this. That's just insanity. So you need to have something else to place your thoughts into. When you do this and you change this balance from how much you think about her and how much she thinks about you, and it goes like this is where attraction is formed. She needs to think about you more than you think about her. Why? Because it's in the feminine nature to care more about love, relationships, and intimacy. It's in the masculine nature to care more about mission and goals. If you are a male and you're thinking about a girl more than she's thinking about you, you have put yourself in the feminine, submissive, worshipping position, which is deeply unattractive to a girl, no matter how many girls might react to this and comment and say, no, that's not true. I love it when a guy invests in me and I want him to think about me as much as I think about him. No. Girls do not want equality. They want this kind of dynamic where they're more thinking about their man, whilst their man is thinking about the mission, the goals, the work, being like a top tier male. And yeah, they want that attractive guy to think about them more, of course, but they'd rather have a attractive guy who is less emotionally invested in them than a loser who's more emotionally invested in them. The second thing you can do to be more of the bad boy rather than the nice guy, which is controversial as fuck, is put her in her place. The amount of guys who have no fucking balls when it comes to speaking to a girl. If some girl you're going on a date with is late, if she's disrespectful, if she says something that you don't like that kind of triggers this sort of, these emotions and thoughts inside of you where you're thinking, oh, that was a bit disrespectful, that was rude, I didn't like that, she said something, she started an argument, whatever. Most nice guys will just kind of keep it to themselves and just kind of like, doing this smiley, happy social thing where we're pretending that everything's okay. The bad boy archetype that we're talking about, he's not afraid to tell a girl, like, why did you say that? Don't say that again. He's not afraid to put a girl in her place when she deserves it. And this is so true. For a woman, they will respect you more when you do this. When a girl does something that you don't like and you actually talk to her about it and you don't just like kind of like move on thinking, oh, well, I can't, risk saying anything to her. They actually find that attractive. Now, of course, if this is with a random girl you've just met, then of course, okay, she doesn't give a fuck about if you found her attractive or not. Okay, fine. But the more and more that you speak to a girl, the more and more that you actually will go on a date with them, the more they'll be attracted to you when you actually stand up for yourself. So for example, back when I was in university, there was this girl that I really liked, and I could have lost my virginity to her. I could have had sex with her when I was like 19 years old. She was beautiful. But I fumbled it because I was like a young guy, whatever. But then instead of just fucking moving on with my life, I started to be extremely emotionally invested in her. I started to obsess over her, and that got me fucking nowhere. And she would literally talk about other guys like in front of me, to her friends, to me, about, oh, this guy I met and this guy was really hot and everything. And it would make me feel uncomfortable. But I had no fucking balls to tell her, like, I don't like those conversations. When I finally stood up for myself months later and I basically just started ignoring her, which probably wasn't the best way, I probably should have said something, but I just started ignoring her because I was like, why the fuck am I even speaking to this girl who, like, I'm not even enjoying being with, I'm just kind of obsessed with her. That's when she came back into my frame and she realized she had done some things wrong, and she started texting me asking like why, what was happening, why I'm not speaking to her, we should have a catch up and everything. Of course, because I was a little bitch, I fucked it up after that point and started texting her, oh, I miss you and all this gay shit. But like the idea is that girls know when they're doing disrespectful shit. They know that they're turning up late. They know that they haven't replied to your message fast. They know this shit. They know it. And the more confident of a guy you are, especially the more you are actually with this girl, the more that a girl actually expects you to say something. I'm telling you right now, the guys who fuck a lot, they're not afraid to tell a girl to like be quiet, stop doing that, shut up. They're not afraid of that. And now that's really, really controversial. It's wrong, but I'm telling you right now, those guys are fucking a lot. A lot of girls are sucking and fucking the type of guys who tell them to shut up, who even swear at them. You shouldn't be abusive, but you should just think about this. Like, I'm not telling you to be, abusive or verbally get aggressive with a girl, but it's just an example for you to think like, oh yeah, like for you, I'm telling you, you can go more into a little bit more of the sort of like stand up for yourself than you are right now. Now, of course, there's guys in the world who need to tone that shit down and be less aggressive to women and to other people. But my audience, like this type of content, particularly attracts the nice guys who actually need to stand up for themselves a little bit more. If a girl's late, you say it to her. You don't just say, oh, it's okay. You say like, no, I appreciate it when you turn up on time. I value my time. Girls find that shit fucking hot. I'm telling you, like their pussy gets fucking wet when you stand up for yourself and you establish some kind of fucking boundary. They're like, even if it's as simple as establishing what you like, the way that you're kissing a girl and you say, no, kiss me like this, and you tell her what you like, you tell her open your mouth, whatever. Girls find that shit fucking hot when you tell them what you like, you tell them what your values are, you tell them what you're attracted to. And the third part of being a bad boy, which again is controversial, is to trigger the spectrum of emotions. So this is something I came up with, which I'm going to pass on to you, and once I teach you this, it's going to fucking blow your mind. Nice guys, little fucking bitches, they like to think that the way you attract a girl is to try and make her feel good. So you, in your mind, think the way to attract a girl is to just try to make her feel good. So you try and just stay safe, and you compliment her sometimes, and you try and do things that she likes, and that's it. You don't want to risk any other emotion. The guys who fuck a lot, they know that that's not true. They know that the truth to attracting a girl is to trigger not just the emotion of positivity, love, attraction, but to trigger an increasing number, quantity, volume of emotions. The nice guy triggers one emotion, which is like, oh yeah, positive, whatever, attraction, whatever. The bad boy triggers like 20. He's not afraid of triggering a bit of a negative emotion in her, like anger or even a bit of disgust, and then humor, and then shock, and then anxiety. The bad boy is not afraid of triggering these emotions inside of a girl because he knows that the more of these emotions, like imagine we had like a color map, you know, like, you search up like colors, blue, green, whatever, and then you look at the one which is like way more detailed, and it's not just blue, but it's like fucking cyan and fucking sea blue or whatever. Like imagine there's hundreds of colors in this sort of spectrum. Each one of those is an emotion in a girl that you can turn on. And the more quantity of these that you turn on, the more attracted she will be. Our original idea was that we should only turn on the positive ones, but the guys who fuck a lot, the guys who have a lot of girls attracted to them, they don't actually just think about triggering the positive ones. They think about they barely even think about it, but they just happen to trigger as many as possible. So this means like I'm giving you permission. You can trigger a bit of a negative emotion inside of her, and what's interesting is she will be more into you if you do this. The good boys, like the nice guys, they think if you make her feel bad, she'll be less into you, but actually she'll be more into you. Think about it, like the standard stereotypical scenario is that the girl is getting fucked by this guy that she's obsessed with, but she ends up saying that guy's like an asshole because right now he's triggered this kind of negative emotion inside of her because he's just like a fucking guy who's living his life. And the thing is, look, this is not like abusive or anything like that. This is just life as a fucking man. Sometimes if you live your life as a man, your girl is going to feel some kind of negative emotion. It is not like, I'm the perfect man who doesn't trigger a negative emotion inside of her. Think about before any of this stuff was made. Think about the caveman times. Do you think the caveman would have made his woman just feel safe and positive 24/7? No, she would have been fucking anxious as fuck because of him sometimes. She would have been scared as fuck when he goes out and he doesn't come back for like 2 days. You have to have the balls to trigger as many different emotions inside of a woman. And you can do this in a manipulative way as we're talking about here, which is like calculated thinking, okay, today I'm going to make her feel bad. But the point of this is, after a few years of you following this advice, you'll start to just have a pair of fucking balls and you'll do this naturally. Sometimes when a girl wants to see you, you won't even reply because you just didn't have it in your mental bandwidth. She'll feel negative and then she spends 3 hours thinking about you extra that day instead of you being the stand-up, reliable good boy. This isn't to say that you should do this like in a way to hurt the girl, but this is me giving you permission to live like a fucking man where sometimes your actions are not gonna make her feel good, and that's fucking okay. Every like guy who's good with girls knows this. Every guy who's not good with girls feels so uncomfortable thinking, no, this is abusive, this is manipulative. This is what life as a man is supposed to be like. We are supposed to just focus on our big mission, our goal, the war, whatever it is, survival. And naturally, sometimes our woman is going to feel anxious because we're not looking over at her. But then other times we'll make her feel like the only woman in the world. So your woman will go through an intense spectrum of emotions, and the more different emotions, the more quantity of different emotions you trigger in her, the more she will be attracted to you. I'm telling you right now, the reason why you're struggling is because you've been so scared to trigger any emotion other than any kind of positive one. So I'm giving you permission to sometimes scare her, to sometimes disappoint her. I'm giving you permission to sometimes make her angry at you. Girls fuck assholes, they don't fuck pussies. You've got to start thinking to yourself, yeah, like, why am I just trying to cage myself in and behave in this like really like anti-masculine safe way where I'm just focused on trying to make her feel good? Because the real man version of you, whilst he cares about her emotions, he cares about making her feel good, he prioritizes himself and his own journey and his own goals above her fickle emotions. He doesn't really take her emotions seriously. Sometimes girls are gonna be fucking upset. Like, this is the point of their fucking biology. I'm explaining this because I know a bunch of fucking soft little pussies will say that this is like really aggressive, dangerous advice. The truth is, women were meant to be fucking emotional and chaotic. They literally have like a 24, 28 day cycle where they are literally go through periods of being more emotional, more hormonal, more sad, more angry, more lustful. They literally are supposed to experience a vibrant, variety of emotions, and the man who can kind of like trigger that in the same wave of their feminine cycle is the one who's attractive. Like, the beta males or the bad people here who are trying to treat a woman like a man by consistently trying to make her feel the same emotions 24/7. Sometimes you've got to let your girl have a fucking like sad moment and she's really sad, and then she's happy because you got her food, and then she's like really angry and she's sad. She's got what I call poopy diaper energy. Sometimes you've got to let your girl fucking sit in that, and then you can be this little fucking beta male little nice guy trying to tell her, no, it's okay, you know, how can I help you? Hey, I'll make you feel good, whatever. Or you could just be a fucking man having fun by yourself when she's in the poopy diaper, you know, like little angry girl energy. And when she's ready to come out of it, she'll come up to you and start laughing with you again. The guy who gets the girl is not very much concerned about her emotions. It's kind of like, you know, helicopter parenting. You know, like the modern day parents who are so anxious for their children to experience any kind of pain in life, so they try and fucking like bubble wrap everything and save him from getting germs and stuff. But then they end up actually worsening their child's life because they treated him like a fucking pussy who can't now be resilient to the world, right? You don't be a fucking helicopter parent to your fucking girl. It's okay. She's meant to have like fucking sad moods. She's meant to be angry sometimes and sad sometimes and hangry sometimes and horny. She's meant to have all these different little moods. And the little guy who's trying to protect her from these feminine moods, he's the one who doesn't understand women. The masculine man who understands women knows that sometimes she's going to be angry, so you let her fucking sit in that anger. Sometimes you do shit where she's randomly angry at you, and it's fine because when she's angry at you, she's thinking about you. Now, the next point I want to make to you is that most of these girls, especially these modern women, they will fuck you faster if you show red flags. Seriously. If you show red flags to a girl, she will have sex with you faster than if you don't. Just think about that for a second. It's backwards, right? As men, we would think, no, it's the other way around. If you show her the green flags and you show her you're a good boy, then she'll want to be more intimate with you. But no. You need to understand a very brutal truth of human nature, sexual dynamics, and just fucking sperm wars. The war of impregnating a woman, like the war of fucking a woman. You need to understand something which is brutal. Women do not get more sexually attracted to a guy who is nice and more husband material. They get more sexually attractive to the bad boy who's actually not husband material. Just think about that. You've been sold this lie that the more you position yourself as a good husband, the better everything's gonna be. But you know as well as I do, and every guy knows this, even though girls will want to pretend we're all lying here, there's a lot of good guys whose lives are fucking ruined by women. There's a lot of good guys who did everything right. They married the woman, they committed, they worked hard, they sacrificed their own goals and stuff, they provided for the family, they had 1, 2, 3 children, and now they have sex less than once a month. Their wife will give sex as like a fucking treat. Their wife will weaponize sex and budget it out as if she's giving it to the fucking peasants during a fucking famine. The good boy who ends up getting married to the girl who shows himself as the perfect husband ends up in a sexless relationship. We as guys, sometimes we can't understand that. We did everything right. How could you be such a nice guy, be husband material, boyfriend material, and she doesn't fuck you? And this is the most brutal thing. Every girl will convince you that it's them. And it's like, no, I just don't want to have much sex. What they're not going to tell you is the truth. It's with you. Because that same woman who doesn't want to have sex with her husband, she wants to get fucked by the same type of guy she's always wanted to get fucked by. You need to understand whether a woman is 20 years old or 40 or 60, they are all horny for the same type of guy, which is that sort of bad boy archetype that we spoke about. They're all horny and they'll all want to have sex with him. The problem that guys have is that we, for some reason, believe if we position ourselves as the good boy, the real man who, you know, like settles and gets married and does all those things and buys the house and works, that our girl will want to fuck us more. No. Listen. You need to understand this. On average, your girl will want to fuck you less when you position yourself as the good husband. Think about it. Just look at the fucking data, the trend of everything. On average, when guys get into a committed relationship with the girl and they get married, their sex life goes what? Down.
Don't believe the bullshit that you see on social media where, these couples try and show you the Instagram reels of like, yeah, we're still intimate after marriage. Wait 5-10 years and I guarantee for basically every married couple, the sex life goes down. Now, of course, look, there's beautiful parts to marriage, there's beautiful parts to having children, but having sex and fucking is a very important part of life, and no one can fucking deny that. And if anyone tries to deny that, they just don't have the same values as you do. If you're watching this, you care about it and it's a big part of your life, and you'd want to be in the type of relationship where you still have sex basically every day, right? Especially if you've got like healthy levels of testosterone, that's the kind of relationship you would want. But think about it. On average, when the guy commits and he becomes a good boy who loses, that bit of the sort of bad boy wild side to him because of society and the pressures of his woman, he gets married, has children, he actually gets worse treatment from his wife because of his good behavior. Because this good behavior of showing yourself to be like a stable man who is really safe and consistent, women say they want that, and they do, but they don't want to fuck that guy as much as they want to fuck the wild bad boy. It's just the truth. Again, remember the golden rule: never fucking listen to what a woman has to say about any of this, because for them it sounds wrong if they agree with this. So they have to protect themselves, saying like, no, not me. I really like the beta male. I really like the consistent guy. My hubby is really consistent and safe, and I have sex with him every day. Yeah, every day. And then her husband comes to the internet forums and says, yeah, guys, we've stopped having sex. We only have sex like 3 times a month. And she's like, yeah, we have sex like every day. Yeah. Don't fucking listen to what you see online. You just got to look at the natural trend of things. When you commit and show yourself to be a good boy, she will actually treat you worse when it comes down to like her sort of intimacy and attraction. It's just the fucking truth. Now you've got to, bro, this fucking happened to your fucking father. This has happened to every fucking man in your bloodline. You've got to understand how fucking brutal this is, because we as men, we naturally believe we'll get rewarded for taming the wild side of ourselves, the side of ourselves that just wants to be an animal and fuck as many women as possible. When we tame that and we give the ring to the woman and we commit and we publicly show everyone, yes, I'm committed to you, we think she'll treat us better because of that. Now, in some ways she is, because she's going to have your children. Okay, nice. She's going to be your woman. Okay, nice. But we also, all men believe that like your sex and intimacy is going to improve, but on average, like for basically almost every fucking case, it's not going to improve when you get married. It's actually going to get worse, and men need to know this. Now, you can hear this and be like, okay, but I still want to get married and have children. Yeah, 100%, but you need to know what you're in for, not the lies of the fucking society, Instagram reels, and what women will tell you. You need to know that when you commit to a woman and you show the green flags, she will want to be intimate with you less. She will want to get fucked by you less, and you need to know that. If you're thinking, yeah, that's fine, I don't really give a shit that much about sex, I don't mind if we only have sex like once a week or something, first I'd say go get your testosterone levels checked first of all, but then second I'd say, okay, fair enough. But there's a lot of guys watching this, young guys thinking like, yeah, that is fucking crazy. Like, I know for a fact this has happened in basically every fucking relationship I've possibly seen. She'll fuck you less and slower if you show yourself to be more of a marriageable, consistent, safe man. I'm telling you this from my experience and from basically every fucking, the story I've heard from every guy in my entire life. When you show yourself to be more of the good boy husband, you think that you're gonna fuck more, but you're not. You'll get more, like the husband and roommate kind of vibe and your best friends and whatever, but it's not going to increase the sexual intimacy of your life. And you might be okay with that, but it's just something you should know. Now, here's the interesting thing. When you show yourself to be more of the bad boy and you literally, let's say on a first date, you show that you have some red flags, she will fuck you faster. Let me explain how this happens. Let's say that I go on a date with a girl and I only show that sort of like bad boy, wild side of myself. I'm just cocky, flirty, arrogant. I act like a bit of a playful idiot. I'm just flirting, I'm physical, boom. She will want to fuck me within like 10 seconds of meeting me, but within like an hour, she's ready to go. When I actually show more of the husband material side to me, the entrepreneur who wakes up early, who doesn't really drink alcohol, who has his goals on his wall, who's consistent and everything, when you show more of that, like when you show like you're financially stable, those kinds of things,
it's actually a bit of a turn off in a woman in terms of just fucking. And this is the weird thing. This is like the mental retardation of every woman. It's like a bug in their brain, but it's not when I explain it to you. When a woman realizes that you are boyfriend material, or especially husband material, she will think, oh, okay, it makes more sense to make him wait. Just think about that. If, like, imagine the girl that you want right now, right? Most likely she's had a hookup before. She's met like a bad boy Chad who she didn't think was marriage material. So she fucked him faster. That seems backwards to us, doesn't it? Wait, she would meet a guy who's not as good. He's worse. He's less of a fucking, like, you know, like a presentable man than you, and she fucked him faster. That doesn't make any sense to us. If you're more of like a top tier man, husband kind of man, she should want to have sex with you faster. No. This is the problem. Men have fallen for the lie that women have told us, which is that they want these husband guys, they're really attracted to them, the Hollywood movies and stuff. But the truth is, women are just red-pilled. What red pill means is, like, basically you follow the evolutionarily, like, animalistic way of sex and dating. Think about it. When a woman sees a guy who's got red flags, you know, he's toxic, he's got tattoos, he seems like a bit of a wild guy, he seems like he might even try and fuck her friends, she will actually be more likely to have a one-night stand with him, like fuck him within an hour of meeting, than she will the husband guy within an hour of meeting him. Why? Think about how retarded that is to men. Like, my cameraman's like putting his head like this. To men, that's fucking wrong, right? Why would she reward this guy? But this is the brutal thing. You've got to fucking understand this piece of advice, bro. Women are naturally red-pilled. They understand the animalistic nature of sex. We as men don't. You know why she'll fuck him faster? Because what does she actually want from him? She doesn't want something long-term from the bad boy who showed himself to be kind of inconsistent, risky. What good would the bad boy bring to her life? That sort of exciting, risky fuck right now. That's what he's positioned himself as. That's what the value she sees in him. When you position yourself more as the bad boy, you basically position yourself to be like this genetically superior alpha male who won't stay around to help you raise the children, but I've got these fucking masculine, high testosterone fucking genes inside of me that women naturally want to get impregnated by. And this sounds fucking crazy, but please just believe me when I tell you, this is the fucking truth. I hold my hand up and tell you, this is the truth of the fucking world, and it's like debatable. I know that this is one of the fundamental truths of the world that I cannot be wrong with. Women are red-pilled, and they operate in this animalistic tendency where when they see the bad boy, they want to fuck him faster, because the value of the bad boy is this sort of like unconscious thing of, oh, since he's this hyper masculine, high testosterone type of guy he'll just fuck me and leave. What they're attracted to him is the riskiness. It's the fun, the spike of emotion. All of that is what? It's short term. So, you know, when you hear of the girl who says like, yeah, you know, I had like a hookup, but you know, I'm not going to do that again. What she's saying is she met a guy who she deemed as quite genetically strong, masculine, high testosterone. And her brain didn't say this to herself, but the animal part of her brain thought, oh, he's got good genes. He's a strong, primal, alpha male, bad boy, like high testosterone type of guy. We want his sperm. That's why she fucks that guy faster, because this is what's called sperm wars. It's the war between different kinds of men's sperm. You know, sperm's like basically what we nut to get a girl pregnant. When a woman sees a guy is not going to be husband material, but he still is, you know, a bit of a top tier man, he's attractive, confident, she basically just wants his sperm. That's why she fucks him faster. She wants sperm, which is one thing, but she just wants the fun, emotional kind of high of, you know, the excitement and the risk and whatever. When she sees a guy who's more safe and consistent, and she can see being with him long term, you can now start to understand from the, like, put yourself in the woman's shoes. You can now think, wait, why would you fuck him faster? You don't need to. He's safe, he's long term. He is the beta male who she doesn't want his sperm for this animalistic, animal fucking kind of thing. She wants to lock him down because he's the consistent guy who will stay with her long term. And here's the worst fucking part of this. When women see these guys, and they'll never admit this to you, but I promise you this is the truth, they know they can cuck him. They want the sperm, the baby from this guy, the bad boy, the high testosterone masculine guy.
That's why they fuck him fast. They're literally trying to extract sperm. And look, this is the case for girls who don't even want to get pregnant. This is just animalistic tendencies, right? But when they see these guys, the husbands, the good boys, the nice guys, the reason why they fuck them slower is because they don't want his sperm. They don't want to get impregnated by these guys, because when you show yourself to be safe and consistent, you're showing yourself to be what? Less masculine, less risk-taking, lower testosterone. So they don't want a genetically inferior child from these guys, but they still want to lock these guys down for safety, provisioning, relationship. So they don't fuck this guy right away because they don't want his sperm. They fuck this guy what? Think about it. Why would a girl not have sex with this guy straight away when meeting them, the nice guy? But eventually they'll have sex. Why would she have sex with him? Because if it was for his sperm, the sort of raw animalistic thing of like wanting to fuck him because of evolution, she would have done it right away. They don't have sex with him right away. Why? It's fucking brutal. Because of like a bargaining chip. To basically be, okay, eventually this guy's gonna get frustrated, so she needs to dish out some sex to keep him here. And this is the sad fucking state for most men in relationships. They position themselves as the good boy, like they were told by society to do, and their girl will have sex with them after months of them fucking waiting and dating the girl, even though she got fucking plowed by a guy like me within like 2 hours of meeting her. They have to wait for it, and then their girl will have sex with them to basically keep them sane and keep them attached in the relationship. Not because she wants to get pregnant, not because of this animalistic emotional high, but to basically think, yeah, he's a bitch, but I've got to make sure this little safety little net stays here. So she needs to be intimate with him in some ways to cause some pair bonding, but she's dishing it out like she's budgeting it. Now imagine, they wait 3 months to have sex. They start having sex like once a day, and then it goes down to, like a couple times a week when they're like dating and they're in a relationship. What do you think it's going to be like 10 years from now when they're married with children? This is the dynamic that I know and you're afraid of, where you've been the good boy. You did exactly what you were told to do. You work hard, you provided, you showed up for your children, and your woman, your wife, is going to have sex with you once a month at best. Why? Because she never actually really wanted to have sex with you. She saw it as a fucking weapon against this guy to make sure he stays. When women fuck the bad boy alpha male, the jock alpha male, like testosterone type of guy, they do it because they genuinely just want to have sex. When they fuck these guys, they don't want to have sex with these guys. If they did, they'd have sex with them right away. Right? Look, this is the brutal truth. Like, when most girls have had a hookup before, they've shown to the world and to you that they are the type of girl who does like want sex right away with a guy. Most girls have had a hookup, a one night stand, fucking a guy within a few hours. So most girls have shown that they are like evolutionarily a fucking woman. Most women are like that. It's brutal because if you position yourself like this guy and you show yourself being a good man, you don't get rewarded for it. You get punished. That's why the lesson for this part of this video, which is fucking brutal, because I wish I could come onto the camera and tell you, no guys, let's be good men. Let's become like good husbands. If I did that, I would literally be setting you up to enjoy less of a woman's intimacy and to get basically like sex bargained out, like budgeted out, like we're on fucking rations in World War II. What fucking like kind of leader would I be for you if I have done this previously? Because look, the advice I'm giving you, the reason why this video is hard for me to make is because it kind of sounds degenerate and wrong. I'm telling you to not maybe be a good husband, which sounds fucking crazy because we need more good husbands. But the problem is, bro, there is so many fucking little beta male, little nice guys out there. Do you want to be one of them? The problem becomes, and this is something I have not figured out yet, when you want to have children, because I think most guys watching this, you're probably already thinking, yeah, I kind of want to be positioned as this guy. I don't maybe want to be a total degenerate having sex with like dirty girls from nightclubs or whatever. Okay, fine. But if a girl's going to look at me, I think I want her to see me as that guy instead of this guy. I think most of us could agree on that. The only problem becomes, what about the long-term relationship? What about the love? What about the having children and a family? And to that, I will be honest to you, I have no fucking idea. I don't know. In terms of having a family, bro, go find some other guy to go watch. Maybe there's like some father YouTuber out here, whatever. But I'm just telling you from like, in terms of dating, red pill attraction, what I've learned in the last 10 years of like mastering this game,
I'm telling you, bro, just be careful positioning yourself as the husband. Now, let me just give you a couple of disclaimers. Does this mean that you should not, for example, develop the characteristics of the husband, the nice guy, for example, consistency and safety and financial resources? No. Those things are fucking awesome. Level up in your business. Stay away from crime. Don't get put in jail. You understand my point, right? Okay. Position, like, become a good tier man, but just think to yourself, and this is your own idea, bro. You don't have to tell anyone about this. Your girl, guys in your life, just between me and you. Think in your mind, which way do you want to get seen by girls? Of course, look, it's not binary. It's more like a spectrum, right? It's not like just 1 or 0. It's more like a line of where do you want to be plotted. Far on this side is she just sees you as a nice guy, which at best she kind of wants to lock down because you're safe and consistent. And far on this side is bad boy. Maybe she'll fuck you, but that's it, and she won't even want to speak to you or whatever. On this side, this kind of spectrum, where do you want to be? Maybe you don't want to be on either extreme. Makes sense? But I would say if you are going to be anywhere here, and I think you'd probably agree, you're probably going to think that's exactly what I was going to say, is you probably want to be around here. More on the bad boy side, not completely on that side where you're just a risk-taking guy. Like, for example, being far on this side, you're in jail, basically. Just think about that. If the furthest bad boys, the real alpha males, they're all in jail. We're not going to go that far, because if you are a real like alpha male, you would be basically a criminal in the modern day. You'd be like a fucking rapist. You'd be fighting men, like cavemen type of fucking behavior. So we're not going to go that far. We're going to be what I would call like the intelligent, intellectual bad boy, where we know basically what it looks like to be a bad boy, how to act like one, how to get treated like this fucking, like, sounds bad, like, the cock worship. It sounds like that. We know how to get that treatment from girls, but we're not fucking idiots where, for example, we'll just take a fuck ton of drugs like most of the bad boys do, and we'll become drug dealers and we'll get into fights and then we'll get put in jail. That's like way far on that side. We're not going to risk that. We're going to be like the intellectual bad boys where it's like, yeah, we know the characteristics of a good husband, like, for example, grit and reliability, and we're building those things because it's for our benefit, for our business, our family. But when it comes to meeting a woman, we might not want to present ourselves as the good boy, because we know it's like we're probably going to get worse treatment from a girl if we do that. And I'm telling you, bro, this is the case of every, like, bro, it's so clear to me that this is true. I can't tell you how many times I've done this experiment where I position myself more into, the sort of like bad boy, risk-taking version of me, and girls fuck me so quickly. And how many times I've tried to position myself more as a husband, and I'm telling you, every single time they don't want to fuck me right away or after a couple of dates. And it's like, it's just sad, because I'm literally sat there not even doing it for me, but almost doing it for you, to think like, man, like, you girls will literally treat the good guy worse. And to men, that seems so wrong, but remember, it's not about what we think. It's just about what evolution and the animalistic tendencies women have, because women are brutally red-pilled. What we're covering today, here's the thing, women will disagree with it, men will get hurt by it, but women actually completely agree, just subconsciously, with everything we're going through. Women are brutally red-pilled. Men have been conditioned to be blue-pilled. And so you just need to like break this chain and think like, yeah, like, which way do I want to be seen? I decided this for myself when I was like 17 years old, and I first started to learn these things. And I had tried being the good guy all this time. I had tried, texting the girl, asking her how she was, being so sweet, being kind of like, like, it's okay to wait if she doesn't want to kiss me for 2 dates. I was like young or whatever, it's okay and everything. And girls just treated me like really fucking bad. But what was weird was like they would speak of me kind of highly. And even now when I position myself more as, like, if there's a woman who knows me with like my brand and my finances or whatever, I noticed that they'll literally treat me worse. It's like they reward the douchebag side of me. To men, that pisses us off. But remember, for girls, it makes sense. Because, of course, if they want to fuck one of these guys, of course it's going to be the guy who's literally built for fucking. Of course it is. If they want to basically string a guy along for the long term, of course it's going to be the fucking good guy. Of course it is. Once you think about it from their perspective, it turns it from this really sad, like, woman-hating mindset of like, yeah, they just want to fuck the bad boys, to like, yeah, like, I understand. You're a victim of your own animalistic tendency. You want the best genetics, like the strongest high testosterone man for the genes of your child. but you know that this guy's probably not going to stay around, so you also want the safe option of the guy who probably will stay around, and the way you make these fucking beta males stay around, you budget out sex for them. If that's the kind of relationship you want to deal with, by all means. For me, I haven't figured out how I will navigate the sort of family life when it comes to this. But in terms of being like a young man, when you're just like, experiencing life and you're dating the girl that you like and whatever, I've personally found being way more on that side is just so much more satisfying. And also, this is fucking huge, by the way. It's not just like this degenerate pursuit of pleasure. It's fucking huge for your self-esteem to be seen as more of the guy who they want to fuck than the guy who, like, they'll make wait for it. Now let's talk about the 10 unopened Snapchats phenomenon. You meet a girl, let's say it's a girl from like high school, and you ask her, hey, so how many guys are you talking to? What's the response that she's gonna give? Straight away, you know it. She's gonna say, well, I'm not really talking to any guys. Every fucking girl's gonna say that, right? You grab her phone, you go on Snapchat, visualize what's gonna be there. You grab this girl's phone, you go on Snapchat. What do you think you're gonna see on this? You know exactly the same thing, right? There's gonna be unopened Snapchats from guys who she's speaking to. From each one of these guys, it's unopened, like she's not even bothered to open them yet. Each one of these guys with fucking gay little Snapchat streaks and everything, they think they're getting closer and closer to being with her. But in her mind, in her female brain, she says, oh, I'm not really talking to anyone. She's literally talking to 10, 15 guys at a time, but in her brain, she's saying, oh, I'm not really talking to anyone at the moment. Why? And what can you do to avoid being one of these little bitches, these fucking unopened Snapchats for the girl? When I was in university, I saw this quite a lot. There was girls that I was fucking pounding, and they would, like open their phone next to me or something, and I'd notice every one of these girls had unopened Snapchats. What was so specific, because it wasn't just that they had messages from guys. They had Snapchats, which is like this app where you can send pictures and messages to each other, but they wouldn't open them. They would literally be on Snapchat, see that there was like 7 guys who had sent them like a picture or a text, and they wouldn't even open them. They would leave them there. You probably understand exactly what I'm talking about. You've probably glanced at a girl's phone just by accident, and you've noticed this as well, right? And maybe you've ever asked yourself why. One thing is, most people these days, men and women, but particularly women, have just got mental illnesses. Most people are just mentally retarded. Women love notifications. It's just the truth. Even guys do as well, but women especially love notifications. They love attention. And this is something which I want to just bring you into this understanding that most women and most of this sort of dating thing is really sexist towards men. You know how I seem like the sexist misogynist in this video? Think about what women are doing when they fucking lie to you and say that they're not speaking to anyone, but they're speaking to 10 different guys, and they're literally like playing them along. Like, that's wrong. Here's the brutal truth. You know how I said the brutal lesson you're learning from this video is that women are red-pilled, like they operate this animalistic kind of dating strategy, even if they say that they don't, right? Most girls, basically every fucking girl, is stringing along 10, 15 options. Think about that for a second. That's red-pilled as fuck. When a guy is talking to multiple girls, what is he called? Player, fuckboy, red flags, whatever. When a girl is doing it, bro, it's completely fucking normal for a girl, even in relationships, but let's say a single girl, to be literally stringing along like 10 guys. And she knows what she's fucking doing. All these girls know that they're playing with the hearts of these nice guys. Of course, bro, who do you think it is Snapchatting these girls? It's the fucking nice guys. It's the guys who are literally waiting, thinking that, yep, if we finally get to day fucking 90 of our Snapchat streak, she might finally suck my dick or something. They're literally waiting for it, right? These girls are stringing these poor guys' hearts along, and they don't even feel guilty about it. And you've been this fucking guy. Like, think about that. Remember the days you were obsessed with some girl and you wanted to get her for months? You were one of these fucking Snapchats in her phone. Not just like the big text message, the guy she's speaking to. You were one of them where when some fucking big dick bad boy asked her, like, oh, are you speaking to any guys right now? She'd be like, no, not really. And you were on her phone at the same time. So that's the first lesson I want to give you in this part of this 10 unopened Snapchats phenomenon is, first of all, women are fucking red-pilled. They do this shit all the time. Every girl, I'm telling you, speaking to like 10 different guys. But this is the weird thing. They'll react to this. They'll comment on this and say, no, I'm not. But literally, remember that analogy. if you ask the girl how many guys you're speaking to, they said 0. If you grab their phone, there'd be fucking 10 guys there. Girls will literally comment on this, say, no, I'm not. If we grab their phone, be like, who the fuck is this? Oh, he's just my friend. Oh yeah, that guy's trying to fuck me. It's like, they're so clear. Like, you know, when you approach a girl and they're like, oh no, guys are only looking for one thing. When it kind of serves their sort of, their message, it works of this sense of like, yeah, guys are just trying to date me and fuck me. But when it serves their cope to be like, these guys are just friends. Do you see the delusion and the manipulative nature of most women, which is they'll literally string along so many guys, but they'll try and convince you that they're not even speaking to anyone. And this is the brutal truth. You know what it is? They don't feel like they're even speaking to humans. When a girl sees you as that sort of nice guy who's texting her long term, she doesn't even see you as like a human being. She sees you as literally just pixels on the screen that kind of elevates her perceived status because she's got a list of unopened messages which makes her feel kind of comfortable and secure, because all girls do this. If she goes onto Snapchat and Instagram and she has no DMs, she feels bad. So this is why girls, this is so weird because guys don't do this, but this is why girls will literally reply to guys that they're not interested in. They'll entertain a conversation with them, not because they're interested in them. They don't even see it as like them speaking to a guy, but literally because so many girls have got mental illnesses that they just like having the notifications on their fucking phone. So the question is, do you want to be this fucking chump? I noticed this, like I said, in university for the first time, but there was a moment it became so clear for me, and you better not, for the rest of your fucking life from this moment, be like this guy. There was a girl that I used to fucking pound like a few years ago in public as well, like at nighttime through the COVID lockdown. And she would sometimes go on Snapchat, like, you know, would be in her car, like fucking sometimes, and she'd open Snapchat and there'd be the list of unopened messages. And I used to just think to myself, these guys are texting her. Some of them had like 20-day Snapchat streaks, 50-day Snapchat streaks, and some of them hadn't even met her in real life. There was one guy on there, and guess what his name was? Hamza. There was a guy called fucking Hamza on her phone. My name's Hamza, right? And he had a 50-day Snapchat streak with her. And I asked her once, like, oh, have you ever, because she saw me as a complete bad boy, so I could even speak openly with her. I said, did you ever meet these guys? She's like, no, he wants to meet me, but I keep like rejecting him and he keeps like texting me and stuff. That's how they speak about these guys, as if they're fucking like stalkers. Like, yeah, he keeps texting me. What she didn't say is, yeah, I keep texting him back. That's how we have a 50 fucking day Snapchat streak. But of course, because his name was Hamza, it kind of stuck out at me. And I was thinking like, that could have been me. I could have been the little bitch taking a fucking little selfie to send to a girl 50 days in a row to hope to meet her. Guess what I was doing at the time? When I wanted to meet this girl, I would send her one message, one word, not on Snapchat, but on iMessage. And you're not even going to believe this, but I promise you, I didn't even have this girl's number saved. She was like +447 whatever on my fucking phone, right? And it was like a funny thing because she'd like bug me and say, no, go on, save my number. And I wouldn't. And the message I would send her when I wanted to meet her at nighttime to fuck her was literally drive. The one word drive, which meant, do you want to go on a drive? We'd organize the time she'd come over. These guys would send her a fucking little fucking selfie for 50 days straight, never met her in person, and a guy like me got to send her one fucking message. Just think about that. You know, the girl that you're obsessed with, that you haven't even like been on a date with, there's guys who are putting in the minimal fucking effort, who are not the unopened Snapchats on her phone, but are the iMessage fucking, and she responds to them right away. This should tell you a few lessons. Number one, what you text a girl does not matter. You are not going to make her more attracted to you through text. Because there's a guy who's literally texting almost nothing saying, hey, come over, Netflix, drive, meet today. And that guy is fucking her whilst you think you're going to create this kind of relationship through texting. A girl knows within a few seconds of meeting you if she's going to fuck you and date you. Honestly, there's no convincing a girl to try and like, you know, change her attitude around you. Now, the second lesson is girls like texting guys that they're not even interested in. Don't get played for a fucking chump. And you know what was the worst thing about this situation? Imagine she had this, what I used to call was beta male Hamza on her phone. And this was honestly mean that I used to do. I would send him Snapchats of me.
sometimes I would grab her phone. Imagine I'm wrestling this girl in the back of a car and I kind of like push her on the floor a little bit. I grab her phone and she'd be like screaming, but she would always kind of like allow it to happen. And I would go on her Snapchat and I would reply to these guys like a picture of my face or something. So imagine you've been like texting this girl for fucking ages and you randomly just get this handsome motherfucker like flexing at the fucking camera or something. And he would reply back, this beta male Hamza would reply back saying like, who was that? Who are you with? Whatever. And I remember her fucking like her disgust. One day me and this girl were hanging out and she was talking about this guy saying, oh yeah, he's proper insecure about you. And I asked like, what was the conversation? She went like, yeah, like, you know, she saw the picture you put up on my Snapchat story and he asked me who you were. And her face was looking with disgust and she went, yeah, I just said it's my friend Hamza. It's my friend Hamza. The back of her fucking mother's car was filled with my unborn children, but I'm her friend Hamza. I used to wrestle this girl, put her into like the sort of the leg space of the back of the car, put my like feet on top of her head, and take a picture. And I captioned it something like, I put her in timeout. And I posted that on her fucking Snapchat story, and she was laughing about it when her phone was blowing up from these guys saying, who's that, who's that, who's that? And she like gaslit them to make them feel insecure, saying, and like her face, imagine just like, this girl's face, look as if these guys were the fucking insecure retards. And she was like looking like this saying, it's my friend Hamza. Can you fucking... Once you've been on this side of the sort of relationship spectrum and you've been this guy, the bad boy, whatever you want to fucking call it, we'll call it bad boy for this video. You realize that, bro, there's two different sides to women. And it's just fucking brutal you being in this side of like the nice guy. The third lesson of this part of this 10 on open Snapchat, that this was a lesson I kind of already knew already, but I really want to pass on to you, is you don't need like a long Snapchat streak or a long text message or anything. In fact, you don't even need to text the girl basically at all to create something with her. There's a phrase I want to teach you, which is text for logistics. Think about the difference between the bad boy, which was me in this scenario, and then those beta males, which was beta male Hamza. He would text her for what? Or, you know, he would Snapchat her for what? Sometimes he'd ask her to meet him, okay, but most of the time he would message her just for the sort of the feelings and the fun and the giggles. Hee, I'm, you know, like fucking selfie face or something. Hee, I'm a faggot. Look at me. Day 49. They're just Snapchatting her just for like fun. That's how he would message her. The way I would message her was for logistics. Logistics basically means like, okay, for information on the fact that we can meet up soon. So whilst all these little beta males on her Snapchat would message her, you know, hey, how are you, streaks, whatever, I would text her and say, meet tonight, drive. So text for logistics is this advice that I want you to follow. Don't text girls for fun or for relationship building. I'm telling you, it's a lie. You do not increase a woman's attraction to you through text. You don't. She knows right away if she wants to meet you or not. And if there's any resistance in her wanting to meet you, you texting her more is not gonna fucking help. If you saw my text on with girls, you would think, wow, Hamza's like really dry and shit at texting. He talks like a fucking autist. But guess what? I'm on this side, you're the one in her unopened messages that she's like cringing at. So even though if my text game like Snapchats got leaked, everyone would be like, what the fuck, he's like a fucking autist. She asked him a question, like the last message from her is like, hey, how are you? And my response is like, free tonight at 8 p.m, meet me here. I look like a fucking retard, like, wait, what? She asked you how you were, you didn't even reply. But guess what? These girls meet me, they don't meet you. So you need to just understand, you don't actually need to have this kind of human conversation in the text game and Snapchat and Instagram. On these apps, on texting, you should literally be acting like a weird autist who just abruptly says, hey, meet me tonight at 8 p.m. That's it. That's the way that I text. And I'm telling you, since I started acting like this, I've had such little of, you know, that painful moment of like you're attached to a girl for months and you feel like you've invested so much into her, you're obsessed over her, you're constantly waiting for her fucking text messages. It's just gay as fuck. Honestly, like I could tell you so many stories of when I was in high school. There was like a girl I was into and I text her every day. But when I'd kind of, you know, try and compliment her, it always felt awkward and I never made progress with her. And then some other guy just starts dating her out of nowhere. I am so proud to tell you, I have had nothing like this for years and years and years. My brain, like I could not even tell you the last time where like I've liked a girl and I've obsessed over her, but then she didn't like me or want to meet me, because I only talk to girls who basically, like, I speak so little on text messages to girls that if one of them kind of ignores it or they're not interested in meeting me, it's fine. They kind of just disappear. That's like the healthy way to do things. It makes no sense for you to try and build up a relationship with a girl who sees you as one of these fucking unopened notifications. Now, of course, look, there's a disclaimer here. If you've got a fucking girlfriend, yeah, text her. That's absolutely fine. Go on a fucking call with her. There's some retards who will react to this type of video and they'll be like, oh, dude, what if you just want to have a relation? Yeah, sure. If she's already your fucking girlfriend, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about some hoe who's fucking speaking to 15 guys at once. I don't want you to be one of these fucking little beta males, because when I see the unopened Snapchat and it's your name and she's just fucking like gargled my fucking nutsack, I'm gonna feel sorry for you. You don't position yourself to be like one of these fucking guys, right? Don't like bro, if you're gonna interact with these modern women, there's only one way to position yourself, which is more of the bad boy who texts for logistics, and you're not one of these fucking unopened Snapchats on her phone. I had a friend in high school, or maybe in college, like we were like 16, 17, 18, and he had this exact same thing, and I've had it as well, but I just remember with my one friend, there was a girl he was texting. He likes like emo girls. And there's this girl he's texting, and he came into school one day. He was proper excited. Oh, we're gonna meet today. We're gonna go on this date together in town center or something. And I was actually happy for him because he seemed so happy. The girl seemed like she was exactly his type. She was really like hot as well. The emo kind of look isn't for me, but like, you know, she was really hot anyway. And he came in the next day, and I was like, oh, how was the date? And he was proper sad. He was like, no, she cancelled, but we're gonna meet on Friday. Friday comes around. He's excited. Okay, we're gonna go meet. I see him on Monday. Oh no, she cancelled. I swear to God, I promise you this is the truth. This happened for months. Sometimes, like, this was a good friend of mine, sometimes I would forget he was still speaking to this girl, and when he would mention her, I'd be shocked and say, like, you're still speaking to her? And he'd be, yes. And I said, have you met her in real life yet? And he said, no. This was just about when I was getting into this kind of like red pill thing, and I used to think to myself, holy shit. I tried helping him as well. I tried saving him, telling him some of the stuff that I said here. But of course, motherfucker didn't listen. He just kept on getting like strung along by this girl. I've had it as well. I've had girls where I was into from like high school, college, whatever. I get their number. They're not very interested, but they're replying back to me. So I keep trying, and then they cancel the date, or they say, no, I can't, I'm busy. But then they message you first. So the big lesson from this section, I just want you to understand, is don't get played along through text messages. If she doesn't come and meet you, she's not interested. Don't think to yourself that like, oh, she's busy or any of this bullshit. Bro, I'm telling you, girls come from different countries to fuck. Like, just think about that. Girls take flights. They take flights to fuck. Don't you fucking believe that some girl from your hometown is so busy that she can't meet you randomly in your fucking hometown a mile away from you. Girls hop on flights to fuck. Once you've experienced shit like that, you'll realize, like, yeah, like, no girl's that busy that she can't meet a guy that she's into. Bro, she will move across the fucking world. She will do whatever it takes to get pounded by the guy that she wants. Once you have seen this, or at least you just believe this from me, you'll get this stillness where you're like, yeah, if she's not willing to meet me for a fucking date and she keeps rejecting it, or saying no to the date or whatever, denying the date, then yeah, then just fucking move on with your life. The big lesson I want for you is just don't fucking become one of these unopened Snapchats, one of these fucking losers that's getting strung along for nothing. Because if you're fucking honest, bro, you don't want to be a texter, little fucking modern day dweeb on your phone texting a girl. That was not what you were optimizing for. You were optimizing for meeting a girl in real life and having a real connection with her. So don't play this mental illness game of you just being another notification in some girl's phone just so she can be fucking happier and more confident about it. That's disgusting, and you need some fucking respect for yourself. I fucking grew a pair of balls when I was about 19, 20 years old, and I stopped this happening to me forever past that point. I almost forget that there's little fucking bitches out there who still live like this, who like, I'm just imagining some fucking Indian guy watching this, and he's like getting friend zoned by some girl in his class, and he's like, no, Hamza, she's an 11 out of 10. She's barely a fucking 5.5.
5 and you've been texting her for 4 months, and every guy watching this, you'll love to believe your girl's different. Yeah, she doesn't fuck fast. She doesn't meet guys. Yes, she fucking does. The moment you accept that and then you think, okay, if she doesn't meet me for a date, it's not because of her father. It's not because of this. It's not because of this. She's just not that interested in you. But the problem is girls don't have the balls to tell you that. Girls will string you along and keep texting you and literally act interested in you. And when you don't text them, she'll start texting you first, which makes you believe, like it manipulates you into believing that she's into you. You've got to remember one extra side point here, like an extra fucking bonus tip. Girls are way more manipulative than guys, way more. Almost every girl is extremely manipulative. They don't even realize they're doing this. But the reason why, you know, like that girl I was telling you about has these unopened Snapchats, every girl you know has these unopened Snapchats. It's because they're literally manipulating these little fucking nice guys to keep messaging them so that they get this self-esteem boost. They wouldn't reply to these guys, say, hey, by the way, I'm not interested. I know you want to fuck me or date me. I'm not interested. I just want you to keep texting me because it makes me feel good. They wouldn't admit that. So don't be the guy who's getting played along for fucking months. Don't be beta male Hamza replying back to the Snapchat that I sent him on her phone. Like, imagine how shit he must have felt. And the thing is, you know, you want to know my fucking values. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck that some like little dweeb was like upset at me fucking the girl that he wants. I sound like an asshole, but the thing is, this animalistic nature of dating and sex, there's no morals involved. Nobody's gonna look out for your fucking feelings. The girl that you've been texting, you know, for months and months. Remember the last girl? She was getting pounded by a guy that had no remorse for you. He's not gonna be thinking, oh yeah, I feel really bad. He's literally like, this is the truth, gonna be literally feeling like a bigger man because you have been texting her when he's fucking her. You want to be another man's fucking testosterone boost. Because that's what it used to feel like for me when I was in the backseat with this girl and I'd see her Snapchat blowing up, I'd see her text messages from all these guys. It would make me feel like a fucking G seeing these fucking losers thinking, yeah, but I'm the guy who's here. You want to give another guy that fucking boost? Are you a fucking cuck? So the lesson here is, text the girl for logistics, ask her out. If she says no, move on with your fucking life. Don't you fucking text a girl long term because you think it's fun, because you don't actually think it's fun. You're just hoping that it leads to like a date or meeting up in person. When you're in a relationship with a girl, then it's different. Then you can text for fun. With girls I really like, we'll send each other like memes on Instagram and we'll call each other and stuff because we like each other. But when there's a girl that you don't actually like let's just make the rule. When there's a girl you haven't slept with, don't you fucking be their little texting buddy. I want to talk about something very specific, which is when she turns her location off. So I had a question from someone inside of one of my programs and he said, what should I do? She went out last night, turned her location off. Like, you know, on these apps, like on iMessage or whatever, you can show your location to your partner. And this one kid, he had a girlfriend who turned her location off when she went out. And he said that she told him that it was to save her battery. Do I need to say anything? I'm assuming that everyone watching this has got double-digit IQ, so what are you thinking actually happened? Because what you're thinking is most likely what happened. It's just as simple as that. When girls are, let's say this is with your girlfriend, this is the brutally honest part of being in a relationship, that desire for that sort of like bad boy, fun guy doesn't go away. And if you're not satisfying it because you've been positioning yourself as like a nice guy inside of the relationship, this is why girls cheat, by the way. They end up getting with a nice guy, but the desire for the bad boy never goes away. In fact, this is actually like their plan. Like, I know this sounds weird, but it's like the literal biological intentional plan of a woman is to lock down one of these nice guys who are safe and consistent, but they don't want his sperm because he's a bit of a bitch. Whose sperm do they want? Whose like genetics do they want pumped inside of them? Well, of course, this guy. So literally, this is why, like I know that this is gonna sound crazy, but humans are meant to cheat. Like, we are literally biologically meant to cheat. Anyone who tells you otherwise is just a soft motherfucker. Now, of course, this isn't me saying you should cheat. If you make a fucking promise to someone, you should not cheat. You should stand by your word. But we are literally built to cheat. Women have this dual mating strategy where they want to lock down the nice guy, this, you know, the safe, happy kid or whatever, but they still are attracted to this guy. And when girls cheat, most of the time, it's because they have a nice guy at home and the bad boy just ends up flirting with them. They realize their pussy's got more wet than it has done in months or even years, and they end up fucking this guy very quickly. How do I know? that this is what happens? How do I know? I don't know, bro. I think I've read about it. Yeah, I've read about it. When you fuck your first girl who's in a relationship, and then the 10th and maybe 20th and 30th, you start having a pretty jaded view at relationships, honestly. And you start realizing, oh yeah, there's a set number of circumstances that causes a woman to cheat. The biggest one by far is that you are at either end of this spectrum. Remember, the nice guy, the bad boy, because this is what's interesting, right? You might not have expected this. If you are a nice guy, she will cheat on you with the bad boy. If you are too much of the bad boy, what's interesting is that she will actually cheat on you with a nice guy. A woman wants both. Women are biologically made to be extremely fucking selfish and like Jewish with this. They want as much as possible. They want the nice guy and also the bad boy. The ideal guy is like the superhero who joins in the middle, where he's a bad boy, but he's good for her, whatever. You know, that's the fairy tale of most women, right? But on average, it's two separate people. Women want both. This is the problem. This is why cheating is so high in a relationship, because if you're the good guy, she's gonna fuck some fucking douchebag asshole. If you're the asshole jock, you know, like super high testosterone Chad, she's actually gonna get a nice guy and cheat on you with him. Now, of course, I sound like an asshole saying, oh, she's gonna cheat on you and stuff. But the truth is, bro, like statistically, what is like 40-50% of people fucking cheat, like if relationships have cheating in it. And that's of, by the way, self-reported questionnaires. So basically, imagine researchers do massive studies, and they find that about 40 to 50% of people admit that they have cheated in a relationship. Admit. A lot of people aren't going to admit that. So I would probably say the real statistics maybe like 60 to 70 to 80%. And also the relationships that actually objectively don't have cheating in them right now, let's wait 10 years and see what happens. Basically, it seems to me that most relationships, the overwhelming majority of relationships, will have some kind of cheating from man and or from the woman as well. So you need to understand, why would a woman cheat? Why would a woman, in this case, turn her location off? Was she cheating? Most likely, yes, she fucking was. Of course. I could, I've been in situations like this. So I've been the sort of bad boy who the girl has been with. And then I've later on found that like she had a boyfriend, she'd been in a relationship and all crazy shit like this, bro. I've had, fuck, man, what stories could I tell you for this one? One that's coming to my mind is I had a girl who I had been with like last year. I text her and I said, come over, come spend time with me. And she says, oh, I have a boyfriend and I've started dating him. If I told you my response, you wouldn't even believe me. You would not believe me. You'd think he's lying, he's exaggerating, whatever. My response was, see you at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Her last message was, I have a boyfriend. My response was, see you at 8 p.m. Yes. That's really bad or whatever. But bro, another guy's doing this to you and your girl, so you better fucking just get used to the fact that there's some fucking dogs out here. So she comes over and, oh yeah, she's got a boyfriend. I can't do anything with, that's what she's saying. I've got a boyfriend, I can't do anything with you. Yeah, sure. I already know that she's gonna cheat on him tonight, because I'm the type of guy who girls go to cheat on their boyfriends and husbands and stuff. And before anything happens, she actually starts almost like smiling and she goes, did you know I was married? I'm like, oh no, that's crazy. I thought you were pretty young. Oh, you're young? Yeah, like you were married. Oh yeah, so, oh yeah, she was married, whatever. And I said, why did you split up? And she went, yeah, he found out I cheated on him, so he divorced me. I'm like, oh, I suddenly got interested in the conversation. I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like, how did you cheat? What happened? And she goes, yeah, I kissed this other guy. Because I'm not a fucking retard, I know the truth before it was even said, but you don't. You would have thought, oh, she kissed another guy, that's cheating. That means you're a bit of a bitch. You know what all of the fucking guys who are more like the alpha male, Chad, bad boys thought straight away? I looked at her, smiled and said, come on, you can tell me. Did you really just kiss that guy? And she goes, no, I fucked him as well, but my husband doesn't know. That's called trickle truth. If you've ever had a girl who you've been in a relationship with and she tells you something which is a bit hurtful, like, oh yeah, you know, I'm really sorry, I was texting this one guy, or no, we just kissed. He fucked the shit out of her. Girls will never come over to you and say, yeah, I'm really sorry.
he pounded me, and then he finished, and then we laid around for 3 hours, and then he pounded me again, and it was harder this time, and he lasted longer because it was the second time afterwards, and I slept over there, and then he pounded me one more time in the middle of the night. They're not gonna say that to you. They'll say like, oh, I'm really sorry, I kissed a guy yesterday. Trickle truth, and watch out for it. It's the same with this type of shit, like turning the location off and saying, oh, well, it was just because I was saving my battery and stuff. You need to have a little bit of a dark, jaded view with this because, again, most guys who are watching this are on the side of the nice guy, the little bitch, and you've never faced this. Either, like, there's two instances, right? Number one, you get fucking cheated on and it's hurtful, and maybe you walked in on it or you saw it and it's fucking huge, and it made you think, holy shit, girls can be massive fucking whores just like guys can, and they can cheat for the stupidest reasons with people you never expected, this crazy shit, and it hits you with this red pill. Or that's what, like, most guys who understand this grasp. You probably maybe have been there. I don't know if you've been cheated on. Or for the more rare experience is you are the guy that girls cheated with, and you've heard them talk to their boyfriends. You've heard them, like, you see them on their Instagrams, 5 years with my boyfriend. You're like, oh, that's interesting. I fucked her like 2 years ago. That's very interesting how it's been 5 years in 2 years' time, right? Bro, I remember one time in university, there was this girl I met at like a party or a rave or something, and when I was texting her the next day, she came over. And it was like the stereotypical scenario where she literally got a call from her boyfriend, and she was literally telling him like, oh yeah, I'm just drinking with my friends, whilst I had her bent over in front of me, and she was like trying not to make noises. I could tell you so many random little stories like that, and yeah, I could tell you so many. And it's like, and I'm gonna be honest with you again, I established my boundaries or my values with you, and I told you like before, and I'll tell you again, bro, I feel zero remorse and guilt for this. Zero. Not even at all. Some guys will comment, say, oh, that's so wrong, you slept with a girl who's got a boyfriend. For me, it's like, nope, I'm not the one who made a promise to either of those people. I'm a single guy who fucked the girl that I was attracted to. She's the one who cheated. All blame goes to the cheater. And a lot of fucking little pussies, philosopher, skinny neck guys will be saying, no, but if you knew she was in a relationship, then you shouldn't have done it. Bro, I'm telling you right now, every guy who talks like that, if we put a fucking beautiful girl bent over telling him to fuck her, he would do it. And she's in a relationship. I'm telling you right now, most guys would fucking do it. Just because, why? Because it's our fucking biology. The same way that women are dually attracted to both kinds of guys. Men, you do realize that why our penis has that shape, right? We have the shaft and the tip. You do realize why the tip is that shape. So that when you fuck a girl and you thrust outwards, you pull out the cum that was already inside of her from another man. The shape of the head of our penis is literally made so that we can cuck other guys. So that if there's a guy who's fucked her before you, like her husband or her boyfriend, you can basically pull his cum out of her and shoot yours deeper inside of her. That's the reason for the shape of your fucking, like the tip of your penis. I sound like this is weird as fuck. Go read the book, Sperm Wars, and when you fucking read it, you come back here and be like, holy shit, Hamza was fucking right. Holy shit, everyone, men and women, are meant to fucking cheat. We're all just animalistic motherfuckers. And it's fucking brutal. It's red pill as fuck. So we can be all proper sensitive watching this, or I could just tell you the truth and you can learn how to manage this. I don't want you to have a jaded view of life and thinking, oh, Hamza told me that my girl's definitely gonna cheat. No, don't be a fucking little nihilistic, sadistic fucking little pussy. Think to yourself practically, okay, well, how can I lower the chances of getting cheated on? Well, then you've got to hit both parts of the sort of personality, right? You've got to be the nice guy who's consistent, who's like showing love, but also have the bad boy tendency. So this is what I do in a relationship. I show both sides to me, and I try and just make both sides as high as possible. So I'm very financially stable. I'm also kind. I'm not any kind of like criminal, violent or anything like that. So that makes me husband material. Oh, he's safe, he's consistent. But he's also like a big dick motherfucker. He also pounds fucking aggressively. He also like commits a bit of crime every now, like petty shit just to kind of like exhilarate her heart a bit. We do some like crazy shit together. He speaks in a very dominant way. He's like a high testosterone masculine. He's a leader of other men. He's jacked. He's fucking sexy. Other girls come and flirt with him. You hit both sides, your girl's not going to cheat because you're literally one of like, I don't know, a couple thousand men in the entire fucking world. There's 3 billion men. Most of them are just fucking incels. They don't do anything. Maybe a couple 100 million men are the sort of the nice guy who, yeah, he has some sex, but, you know, he's going more for the sort of family thing, but he's also going to get cocked by the bad boy. And there's probably like a couple million, maybe 50 million, 100 million sort of bad boys on the planet. But there's probably only a few thousand, maybe a few tens of thousands of guys who are bad boy husbands. That's the rare thing. When you are the sort of financially successful, intelligent, purposeful, maybe religious or spiritual, disciplined, good character, moral, like very like fucking just upstanding fucking citizen. But then you also have the bad boy side to you as well. You've got those dark stories that your girl sometimes finds out about. She sees how many girls are into you, you're muscular, aesthetic, whatever. That's the rare thing. So don't you fucking get depressed watching this video saying, oh, Hamza said that there's no point in relationships. Yeah, there is. It's just fucking hard. Of course it is, because you've got to be a fucking top tier man for really anything these days. So in terms of this section of the video, when she turns her location off or you have the gut feeling that she's cheating, don't be a fucking idiot and just listen to your gut feeling. Most of the time it's going to be true. So I told you one thing, which was trickle truth. That's where a girl will admit to you, whether, you know, you find something out on her phone and you say, who's this? And she's like, oh, yeah, it's just the guy, you know, no, we've never really done anything. Yeah, you know, like we kissed once. She fucked him many times. In fact, this is my first ever girlfriend. This happened with her. I think this is the reason why I became quite fucking red-pilled bad boy, because I was such a fucking nice guy. You know, when I was like growing up, I was such a nice guy. Then I got my first ever proper girlfriend, fell in love with her. She was a few years older than me, so she had been with like 2 boyfriends, 1 or 2 hookups, and I was a virgin when I met her. So she was my everything. I was her 20%. And one day I remember I came into her apartment, her room, and she was texting a guy. And I straight away got the gut feeling something was wrong. So I'm asking, who is this? Okay, it's a guy from her hometown. I straight away say, have you ever had sex with him? Is he one of the guys you've been with? No. He's just the guy from my hometown asking me how university is. It just kept on coming into my mind. No, I just gut feeling was just wrong. I start pressuring her on it. No, I know that's not right. I know this feeling inside of me is so strong. You're lying. I can just tell. She's like, no, I promise. No, come here. No, it's okay. Like, no, I didn't. It's nothing. He's literally just a friend. I promise. For days, even weeks. Till eventually I basically give her like an ultimatum, because I just know some bullshit's happening. I say, is he a guy that you've been with in the past? And the first thing she says is, yes, I used to send nudes to him. That already is like basically cheating if she's texting a guy who, you know, she has been sexual with in some way. But then it's like, bro, more trickle truth. I remember there was another guy, I started pressing her on. This guy's liking your Instagram pictures. I'm just getting this gut feeling that, you know, something's happened. Is he one of the guys you had sex with? No. Eventually she tells me yes. Then I start asking for crazy fucking questions. I think a lot of guys have done this stupid shit where I'm like, how many times did you have sex with him? Did you use a condom? This was even before she met me, but of course it just fucking hurt, like, you know, knowing that your girl's been fucking fucked before you, right? So I'm asking these stupid questions because I'm like 19 years old. I'm a young guy anyway. We're asking these questions. This guy, before you met me, were you using a condom? How many times did you fuck him? She's like, no, just once, and we used the condom. It just stays in my mind. I don't believe her at all. I don't believe her. I basically end the relationship, and I say to her, I'm only going to get back with you if you tell me the truth. I still remember this moment because I was on a call with her on FaceTime, and I was in my garage in the middle of a workout. And I said, tell me the truth or I'll never speak to you again. How many times did you speak? How many times did you have sex with him? And she goes, lots of times. Did you use a condom? No, we never did. I remember I had the phone on me like this, and I put it up to the screen, and I went like that. I literally got my heart fucking broken, and now fucking hundreds of girls have been ruined because of that. Thanks, Sophie. you ruined us all. Yeah, brutal, man. And that's the thing. Look, that's the trickle truth. A girl will tell you something which is just a little bit of the truth, but she's hiding the big black cock behind it, basically. So watch out for that. That's one thing. Trickle truth. Fuck, there's so many things I could tell you about. This whole section's about cheating, and fuck me, man. I'll tell you
I won't say too many. Actually, I'll put more of the detailed stories inside of the program. So if you wanna fucking join, if not, you're gonna get cheated on. So I'd join it if I was you, bro. How much is your relationship worth? There's a few stories I won't tell here, but there's like, if you should know how to avoid getting cheated on by learning from the guy who's fucked a lot of girls who've been in relationships. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, it's morally wrong. Whatever you want to say, whatever. Okay, pussy, fine, that's fine. But you may as well want to learn this knowledge, because what I will say, there's about 6 circumstances where a girl will cheat more often. 6. And when a guy like me notices these circumstances, these variables in a girl, it's very easy to fuck her, even if she's got a boyfriend, husband, whatever. And if you pick up on these, then if you stop these from happening, these variables in a relationship, then you can safeguard your relationship, because other guys will absolutely, with no remorse, fuck the girl that you're with. And also look, and it's very easy to look at this section of the video and be like, oh, this is so immoral, it's so wrong. Yes, but the thing is, it's only wrong by your modern day judgment of like, relationships should be so pure and whatever. But really, relationships are just fucking 2 animals partnering together and trying their best not to listen to their animal instinct. Which, yeah, sure, in 6 months you could do, but over 20 years, bro, one motherfucker's gonna slip up and fucking either pound someone outside of the relationship or get pounded by someone outside of the relationship. Like, relationships are literally a contract of like, yeah, me and you, we're both animals, but let's not behave like animals, and let's just like, you know, have this higher sort of cognitive contract for the next like rest of our lives. But at some point you're gonna fucking slip up and go back to your instinct. It's just what's gonna happen after 10, 20, 30 years of being in a relationship, unless if you're very autistically knowing exactly why women cheat and how they show signs of it, what variables lead to it, and then you actually start sort of mitigating that. So I'll give you the general idea of how to avoid getting cheated on. And it's what I would say is, you've got to be, I wouldn't say in the middle of the sort of bad boy, nice guy, you know, the spectrum that I've been kind of mentioning in this video. But it's very difficult. You need to have high traits of the bad boy and also high traits of the nice guy. Not in the middle. The middle is like this gray dead zone where you're neither the bad boy, neither the nice guy. It's that you're very much the nice husband. Holy shit, he's the fucking perfect man. I can't believe he's successful. He's intelligent. He looks after me. Holy fuck, he's such a dream guy. Oh my God, he pounded my pussy so hard it fucking hurt. And that girl wants to fuck him and he flirted with her a little bit and now I'm anxious and I'm angry at him, whatever. You need to have both. When you have both, the girl is so consumed by you, she could not even consider another guy. This is like the type of relationships I've had. And the girls who are into me right now, I know for a fact, they see me as, oh shit, he's got both. And it just completely, it's like they cannot imagine a guy who's more like stimulating. And you need to have the fucking ball sack to stay that way, because when you're getting closer to a girl and you show the bad boy and also the nice guy side, they'll want you to turn down the bad boy side and become more of a husband. I don't fall for it anymore because I know that I get the best treatment from women when I'm like this, even though they all believe that they'll like me more when I'm more of the husband side. So that's just like the way that I avoid. I just like, I see this in the girls who are into me now. They can't think about another man. It's just that simple. Their brain is just completely, their brain, their heart, everything is just addicted to me. When you can like present yourself as both guys at the same time, sometimes I'm the most sweetest fucking husband type guy, where we have the most romantic, sensual date, and I'm so sweet and safe and consistent and reliable, and I'm a hard worker. I've got character. They look like, I've had a girl look at me and say like, you'd be an amazing husband and father. And other times they're like fucking screaming my name and I've got like a fistful of their fucking hair into the fucking couch and everything. When you've got both for the same girl, she's not gonna cheat. That's what you need to do. By the way, the full red pill course that I'm making for this topic, it will cover how to have both in autistic detail, the 6 variables, whatever. So the reason why I'm sort of gatekeeping it is because if I've struggled for 10 years in this topic, then motherfucker, fuck you and give me some fucking money for giving you some of this knowledge, bro. Fuck it. You think this is fucking charity, bro? You think I'm doing this shit for free? If I'm gonna help you to fuck more and give you some of my competitive advantage, you can get your fucking debit card out and buy my fucking program, bro. Let me tell you now about the next section, which is the girl you want is getting fucked by a guy who's 5 years older than you. This is particularly true if you're young. If you're older, if you're like 30, then not so much. But like if you are 18 years old, maybe 16 years old, maybe 19 years old, I'm telling you right now, The girl you want, let's say she's 18, she's getting fucked by a guy who's 22, 23 years old. That seems, like, there's not that much of a difference between you and a 22-year-old, is there? Yes, there fucking is. Because look, if you're 18 and the girl in your class is 18, you think it's kind of like fair, you're both kind of equal, right? But it's not the case, because if you're 18 and she's 18, she's a beautiful 18-year-old, which guys who are 22 want, and guys who are 25 want, and guys who are 18 want. Basically, loads of guys want her. You're an fucking low status, kind of spotty young man, 18 years old, with no good career or business like already established. You're not very confident, or you've never hired an employee or done these things which, you know, develop life experience. So you're actually not equal to the girls of your age. And of course, a girl who's 18 years old in your class, her dating a guy who's 21, 22 isn't crazy. That age gap is very reasonable. But that guy's got 4 years extra. Maybe he's graduated and he's had all those years of life experiences. Maybe he's even lost people in his life and he's been developed by that. He's been through character. He's had mistakes and setbacks, and so he's developed himself. The brutal truth with finding a partner, especially when you're young, is that as men, we're not very attractive when we're like 18 years old. You know, there's a small group of men who are. They're like, they're very attractive, like, you know, TikTok boy, whatever. Okay, sure. Some guys are very naturally attractive, sure. But for most guys, if you're not going to lean in on your physical appearance because you just weren't born like a model, which most guys aren't, that's okay, then you're going to have to lean into other things like this sort of understanding of this kind of stuff. Imagine another 10 years of you learning stuff like this, bro. Imagine how attractive you're going to be after 10 years of having the fucking physique like this, right? It's going to make a huge difference. For men, it takes us time to build ourselves up to become attractive. For women, not so much. They can still absolutely become more attractive through self-improvement and fitness and whatever, but a lot of girls who are 18 years old, they're extremely desirable, and literally billions of guys would want them. But a lot of guys who are 18 years old, you wouldn't say billions of women would want them, because billions of women would want the established, rich, successful, sexy 30-year-old guy. It could take you 12 years to get there. So the truth that you need to understand is the SMV graph. And I show this quite a lot in my recent videos, if my editor Henrik can put it up for us. This is like a graph of basically how attractive you are at what age. The blue is for boys and the pink is for girls. For girls, they hit about 16 or 18 years old and they're extremely attractive to most men of the world. It's just the truth. Straight away, most guys in the world would be like, yep, I'd happily fuck her when she's 18 or 20, 21. Okay, sweet. They hit that stride very early. For guys, not so much. The average 18-year-old guy is pretty fucking ugly and unattractive. We're not talking about physically, but just, you know, as just in terms of attracting a partner, you don't really have much going for you when you're 18. So as a guy, if you look at the blue part of this graph, it's like over time, you can build ourselves up. If you hit your stride, you start being productive, you don't drink, you get into the gym, you build a business, you fail the business, you ruin the business, then you start another one, and then you start another one, career, whatever, you keep building yourself up. By the time you're in your late 20s, you start getting established. By the time you're in your 30s, you're like pretty fucking good. And remember, this is only if you've actually been doing the right things, like going to the gym and not being a fucking retard, right? Of course, this graph isn't including any fucking waste of space, little subhuman who like doesn't go to the gym, doesn't work hard or whatever. This is assuming you follow my advice and you keep getting better and better every year. The problem is that when we are 18 or when we're 21 and the girls that we want is 21, they're really attractive, we're not. So they can get guys who are older, who are more established than we are. So it's actually comforting when I tell you this, that if right now you're struggling to attract girls, it's because they're all getting fucked by guys who are older than you and more established. And if you stay on this path of self-improvement, of business, fitness, masculinity, all this stuff, and you stay hard on this path for the next few years, you'll be one of those guys who are 22, 25 years old dating the girl who's 20, when other guys who are 20 years old are trying to date her, but they're not good enough because you've got 5 years of like the bodybuilding and the confidence and everything over them. The great male filter, which is a term that my friend Chris came up with, is basically around the age of like 25 to 28, where that's when it really shows if a guy has done the right thing. So you know that sort of calming fact that I just gave you, which is that, okay, We as men keep getting more and more attractive. In fact, we're more attractive at 30 years old than we are at 20 years old, as long as you've done the right things. If you're young right now, you're like 16 years old, 18 years old, and you've been doing the right things like self-improvement and fitness and meditating and reading books, the truth is you won't actually be that much more attractive than the other guy your age who just happens to be a bit more confident or maybe facially more attractive genetically or anything. The great male filter is basically once you hit about 25 years old, that's the first time you'll very clearly see the divide between the men who got on self-improvements, got into the gym, stopped drinking, didn't smoke, reading books, meditating, compared to the guys who still live like fucking the high school mindset of like drinking beers and whatever. Most guys, I'd say probably about 90% of guys just go down this path, 25 years old, 26, they literally have gained 10, 15 pounds and they've got shit facial hair. 27, they've got like weird bitch titties, their girl's gotten pregnant, but it's not even their child, or some crazy shit like that's just happening in these, like the guys who don't get onto this path. This is what happens to them. The guys who do, when you get to about 25, 26, 27 years old, you'll look around and be like, holy shit, I am so much better than basically every other guy my age. Like, I'm better than almost all men just in general. When you just compare the stats of like, okay, what's the achievements, the confidence, the leadership skills, and the discipline, and okay, how many minutes have you fucking meditated, and what's your character like, and how much money have you made, and the fitness, and all those things, it's just in general. But against my age group, holy shit, bro, I went on Facebook for the first time in years, right? So Facebook is like one of those older social media apps that you don't really use these days. And I've not used it from like high school days, but I went on it to look for like villas to get in Bali. I downloaded it again, had to do the whole forget password thing, got logged in. And straight away, even though I went on it for the reason to like look for villas and not to actually scroll, I ended up scrolling because I kept on seeing so many posts from people that I went to high school with and everything. And I don't mean to be offensive, but I was looking around, I was like, all of you motherfuckers, like, just let yourselves go. Every person has gained 10, 20, 30 pounds of fat. Shit, like, look, everyone looks like they've just been drinking beer every weekend for the last few years. Doesn't look like anyone got rich or successful, at least that I could see. And I was like, holy shit, it's like, look, it's arrogant to say this, but I'm telling you, this is how you're gonna feel in a few years' time. You're gonna look at the people of your age who went to your high school and be like, I'm basically better than every single guy of my age group. I actually believe that about every guy just in any fucking age group. How many fucking jacked, millionaire, confident, happy, joyful guys do you know who meditate and study discipline and those kinds of things? Like, there's fucking what, a few hundred guys, few thousand guys like me in the fucking planet, right? So I have this big fucking girthy dick belief that I'm like one of the best fucking men on the planet. And you should have that mindset as well, even before you are, so you become here. I'm telling you right now, if you think this is arrogant and you're scared of this, you're not gonna fucking make it. It's with this aggressive masculine arrogance that gets you here. It gets you to improve. You gotta have this idea that you're better than other people, because that's how you improve. All these wholesome motherfuckers that you see, some of these like Chad looking, attractive, confident winners that you see online who act really wholesome. Behind the camera, we're all the same. I'm telling you right now, every winner is the same. They might get the trophy and act like little pussies and say, oh, thank you guys. I couldn't have done it without you guys. Oh, thank you and stuff. Behind the camera, they're like, yeah, I'm a fucking big dick motherfucker. Fuck yeah, I'm better than all these fucking guys. I'll fuck that guy. I'll fuck that guy up. I'll do this. I'll do this. Every fucking winner has got this dark side where they think they're the winner. They think they're better than other guys in their competition, in their age group. This is what you need to have. When you see that graph and, okay, you saw that your life can keep getting better and better, only if you do the right fucking things. And think about it. Why would you do the right things? Because you have the foundational belief that it works and it will make you better than other guys. This is not some fucking blue pill bullshit little soft, I don't compete against anyone else, I'm just in a competition with me. How about you not be a fucking feminine little pussy and admit we are actually in competition with one another? Now you'll have allies. Like, for example, hopefully you see me as an ally. This guy, like Hamza, is making these videos where you're just getting this knowledge that you basically everyone else is too afraid to tell you, right? It's like, oh shit, okay, this guy's been helping me. I see allies. When you are boosting the algorithm for me, I'm like, okay, sweet, my business is being improved because he's watched this video, he's engaged, maybe you buy my program. I'm like, okay, fuck yeah, it's a win-win for both of us. We have allies, sure, but other than that, we are in a competition with every other guy out here. And the beautiful thing about this great male filter is that when we all get to about age 25, 26, all those other guys that seemed like they were better than you, they were getting more girls than you when you were 18 years old. Maybe if you're 18 right now, you can think of those guys. You know they're not on self-improvement. You know that they're not even on like looks maxing. They don't even go to the gym. They just naturally kind of have it right now. You wait a couple more years, by the time you're about age 25, you will see the split, the filter of even those popular jock type of Chad guys in high school and college and university. All of them just recline. I'm telling you, the only guys who survive past age 25, who get like better and better, they're all on self-improvement like we are. Now let's cover a weird piece of advice, which is what I'm gonna call, don't be a hard scoper, be a quick scoper. So remember, if you played Call of Duty, like those video games, and you could have a sniper rifle, there was two ways that you could use the sniper rifle. You could do what's called hard scoping, where you'd zoom in and you'd basically just try and target one guy, try and follow along with where he is, and then try and get him. And you might be staring at the same person for a little while. The other way to use a sniper rifle, which was actually way better, is you'd run around the map, and as soon as you'd see someone, you would basically just like zoom in and shoot right away. So that was called quick scoping, where basically you just like get the kill way faster than you being stuck there and just obsessing over this one target. And I think that's a perfect analogy for how you should go about your dating life. The nice guys, or actually the incels, who have a shit dating life, they're all hard scopers. They're like, those guys who are leaving the unopened Snapchats to the girls, where they're just obsessed over this one girl, just trying to hunt her down. The same girl, trying to hunt her down for weeks, for months, even fucking years. They just zoomed in on the same girl. And the thing is, bro, your chances of shooting, like hitting the target, of getting the girl, do not increase the longer you're zoomed in on her. If anything, it kind of goes down. So doesn't it make sense for you to play the game differently, to be a quick scoper, where basically you run around the map, zoom in, fire, just give it, like firing is like you basically shooting your shot, like, trying to rizz up the girl, right? You fire straight away. Why would you just zoom in and just stare at her, which is what all these fucking bitches do, and then they wonder, like, she said that she just wants to be friends, but I'll try again next year or some shit. I think these guys will just obsess over this girl, not even fire, not even shoot their shot. What if you just see a girl, the moment you see her, you shoot your fucking shot right away? Why the fuck would you go through weeks or even months before you've actually just had the balls to fucking just do it? I can't believe I lived life like that for so long. I would meet a girl that I wanted to be with, and I would just kind of like not tell her that I wanted to be with her, or not invite her out on a date. For weeks, for months, I'd be building it up. Holy fuck, it's such a stupid thing to do, right? So the idea is, when you meet a girl, let's say it's in person at the gym, or a girl on Instagram, whatever, the moment you meet her, fire. Fire means, okay, just fucking text her and say like, oh, hey, it was good to speak to you today in class. Do you want to do this? I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. Do you want to come with me? You just invite them to something right away. Like, it's so normal for me to do this now that I almost forget you can do this fucking pathetic way. So for example, I go to the gym, right? I'm training there, like shirtless in the sunlight and stuff. And girls will just walk past and like smile at me and talk to me. And when that happens, of course, I talk to them, and within a few seconds, I make it known that I'm attracted to them. I say, oh, you're really pretty, you're this, you're this. And I'll get their number and tell them, okay, we'll do this. I'm gonna go to this cafe later, come join me. I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow at 11 a.m., come join me. That's a side tip. I don't really go on dates. I just live my life, and I tell whatever girl I'm interested in to join me in that thing. Just because I don't like going out my way to meet a girl. I already live a fun life, and I just tell girls like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing tomorrow, come join me if you want. So I just do that, and it's like within a second of meeting a girl, she knows my intentions are to date her, to be with her. How the fuck can you live with yourself when that isn't the case? And you meet a girl and you're just like scared of acknowledging the fact that you're a fucking man who wants intimacy, sex, and a relationship. So don't fucking zoom in and like hold your breath like a fucking stupid little sniper just obsessing over this one fucking girl, but you won't even just press the fucking trigger, bro. Just press the trigger, be a quick scoper. And this is the good thing with quick scoping. You're running around the map, you quick scope, you zoom in, fire. What if you miss? What if she says no? Well, guess what, motherfucker? Run around the map, and there's another fucking girl right there. Zoom in and fucking fire, right? The better way for you to navigate your dating life, instead of just being obsessed with this one target, just chasing this one fucking girl through school like a fucking complete and utter little bitch, honestly. Let's be honest. I hopefully you even agree with me, even though I'm being rude to you. What a fucking bitch we were when we did this, right? Fucking, me too. I'm not exempt from the rules. I was a fucking bitch doing it. Just like staring at a girl, obsessed over her, never even telling her that I was interested in her for fucking months, getting friend zone and all this shit. When, if you just fucking shoot your shot and say, oh, I think you're really pretty, we should go on a date or something. If you just do that and she says no, you can move on straight afterwards to the next fucking target, right? You should be a perceptual, or there's a word for it, but you should be like a serial quick scoper than a fucking hard scoper. And here's the thing, if you're thinking, yeah, but I don't want loads of girls, I just want one girl, okay, sure. But the way that you find the one girl is through quick scoping a load of girls. And when you find the girl that you want to be with and she's awesome and you want to get into a relationship and maybe you want to have a family, get married, whatever, then of course, then you focus on her, of course. But we're talking about the initial stage. You need to understand the initial stage for a man in terms of attraction and in getting girls who want to be with you. You've got to understand this truth. It is a numbers game. You should hunt not with a sniper rifle, but with a fucking machine gun. Fucking just spray the fucking bullets to hit some targets. Because most often than not, if you want a particular girl, she's just not going to be into you. But if you speak to 10 girls a week, you will get a couple girls who are into you. As a man, it's less about the specific girl that you want and more about the girl who just happens to like want you back. With girls, it's the opposite. Girls, like it makes more sense for them to choose the man that they want. For us, it makes more sense for us to choose the woman who wants us. And the way you increase the probability of how many girls like you is through self-improvement, become more attractive. Now it feels like, to me, every day I step out of my home, there's a girl who makes it very fucking clear she wants me. That is fucking awesome. You couldn't even imagine that. Most guys will think I'm fucking lying or something. You can get to a point in about 5 to 10 years of self-improvement where every time you step out of your home, there's a beautiful girl who wants you and she'll make it known. She'll stare at you, smile at you. That sounds crazy to any like fucking cave dweller who's living at home right now. You live at your hometown with your mummy and daddy. But when you have developed yourself, you look fucking nice, you've got like a good physique, you're confident, happy guy, you're social, you got friends, and then you live in like a fucking social place. Like I live in Bali, so everyone here is like young and attractive and into fitness and whatever. And you've just got good energy about you, you're a happy guy. It's actually fucking reasonable. It's so reasonable. So don't you fucking fall for this bullshit where you're just obsessed over a girl who isn't into you. Look, this is the rule I want you to have. If she's not immediately attracted to you, move on. Stop wasting your energy and have some respect for yourself trying to convince a girl, like trying to negotiate with her. Here's the truth. You don't and you can't negotiate desire. You cannot negotiate desire. Desire is formed within the first few seconds of meeting someone and it just stays that way up until you fuck it up. That's it. Her desire in you does not go up if you keep fucking speaking to her, you keep texting her. We've already covered that in the 10 unopened Snapchats section. So that means that when you meet a girl and she is not very clearly interested in you, you've already fired your shot. Move on to the next girl and the next girl and the next girl. This doesn't mean that you randomly fucking send a cockpit to like 4 girls in your class or anything, but it means that when you are interested in a girl, she's pretty, you go up to her, have a fun conversation and make it known, like shoot your shot, press the fucking trigger right away. And if she's not interested, then you move on. You don't just fucking hold your breath and just fucking follow her around, right? The reason why guys do that is because they're fucking pathetic and they'll just stay hooked on a girl that has given them almost nothing back because they're so afraid to just get rejected by a girl. But bro, you've got to get used to getting rejected. I've been rejected hundreds, maybe even thousands of times in my life, especially if you include like online texting stuff. I've been rejected thousands of times and I'm happy and proud to say that because I would rather get rejected thousands of times rather than one time, if you know what I mean. Like the one time you get rejected by the girl you've been like, oh, you know, you've been obsessed over her. That's fucking shit. Getting rejected by a girl, like if I go speak to some girl today, like we go to the gym after this. If I go speak to some girl and she says, oh no, sorry, I'm not interested, I've got a boyfriend, whatever. That's fine. It like I smile and be like, okay, fair enough. It doesn't hurt me. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I shot my shot. She's not interested. That's okay. That's completely fine. You're not gonna act like an asshole. Yeah, you're fat anyway. You're not gonna act like an asshole or anything. It's like, yeah, that's fine. I like getting rejected in some ways because it's like, at least that means I shot my shot. I pressed the trigger. I tried. Right? It's kind of like hitting failure in the gym. When you hit failure and you can't hit another rep, that's not a bad thing. That means that you really pushed yourself. It's a good thing. You're scared of rejection, so you just stare at, like, you obsess over the girl, you text her for fucking weeks, months, maybe even years. You probably know a little fucking bitch of your friendship group who's been obsessed with the same girl for years, just hard scoping. And you know what the brutal thing is? The girl that you hard scope and you just stay obsessed with for years, she's another man's quick scope. There's so much more brutal knowledge I could cover, but I genuinely think if you watch this far, you think that this is probably one of the most interesting topics we could possibly talk about. This video is just a small part of the full Red Pill course that I'm putting inside of this program, and you don't just get, you know, the long version of this video, but all of these other ones that I made. Basically, like, I don't like social media. I don't even like YouTube. I don't want you watching YouTube, but I still want you consuming my content because I think it's good for you. So what I do is I create like these specific educational courses on these topics, like building an aesthetic body that attracts girls, a Red Pill course, whatever, and I put them inside of this private place so that once you join here, basically you don't actually need to be on YouTube anymore. You can actually be on this separate website where there's no random urges getting triggered, relapsing. There's no content bullshit. There's no like YouTuber bullshit of them trying to hook your attention or anything. And the guys who have joined, it went off now, but the guys who have joined have said like they can't believe it's so cheap, because I just want more and more guys to join this. And I genuinely think you're going to join and be like, holy fuck, I can't believe I get all this for like $37. So I've joined that, the full Red Pill course, the aesthetic body course, Jack Piggott's beating lust course, my friend Chris, the one I mentioned about the great male filter. If you're in your 20s, you'll love this. He's got a 4-hour exclusive course in here. So you get tons of shit, and basically you don't need to come back onto YouTube anymore. So it's just like a nice, like, sort of alternative for you. So I highly recommend doing that. Plus, I've been through 10 years of fucking, like, you know, heartbreak and all this stuff to get this knowledge. And I'm happy to give you some of it, but of course I want to make money from this, because if I'm going to give you a competitive advantage in dating, which is a PvP competitive space, then motherfucker, I want some extra benefit for this as well. This isn't some fucking charity channel or anything. Don't you ever get it fucking twisted thinking that I'm like this monk who's here to just help you for free and I don't want anything back from you. I'm here to help you enough that you trust me. You're like, fuck it, Hamza's got the secrets. He's got a cheap fucking program. Why the fuck wouldn't I join? He's already changed my life for free. Fuck it, let's join and get like the next tier of his stuff. So if that's the case, you can go ahead and join with the top link in the description. Click and watch this video if you want to. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Goodbye.